A child under the age of 12, Erwin Jaramillo Teodoro, was sentenced this past Monday by Judge Jonathan Spann. Teodoro will have to fulfill the full term without eligibility for parole or good time credits. This is the maximum sentence for each conviction that could possibly be issued against Teodoro. Papa John's Pizza is closing about 300 of its underperforming stores across the nation. By the end of 2026, about 200 of these stores will be closed down, with a total of 300 by the end of 2027. Papa John's has over 3,500 restaurants across all 50 states. I'm Andrea Tice.
For more news affecting Alabamians, go to 1819news.com. And while you're there, subscribe to the daily newsletter.
Hi, this is Bo Goodson with the Real Estate Minute. Many of the real estate laws have changed recently, and you need to know how this might affect you as a seller or a buyer. As an agent of the seller, the agent owes undivided loyalty and full confidentiality to the seller. The listing agent can recommend repair services and vendors, pricing guidelines, tips to help get your house in selling shape, and negotiate offers and counteroffers for your benefit. A facilitator, which is the new term, cannot suggest a price or counter or recommend anything. They offer very limited services. A buyer agent solely represents a buyer's interest and can recommend mortgage lenders, down payment alternatives, and can suggest an offer price and write an offer. Whether you are selling or buying, you need someone in your corner that's trained to represent their clients. After training over 15,000 agents throughout the state and helped create and close thousands of home sales over 4 decades, get the straight information from Bo Goodson at the Goodson Group, 221-2883.
This is the story of the one. As a procurement manager for a hospital system, she keeps every facility in her network stocked and ready. That's why she counts on Grainger to be her single source for thousands of products, from disinfectants to lighting, air filters, and more. And with fast, dependable delivery, Grainger helps her keep every facility stocked, safe, and running smoothly. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Hi, this is Danny with High Caliber Gun and Pawn. November we'll be celebrating 10 years of doing business in the river region, and Blue Water Broadcasting has been an integral part of that 10 years. High Caliber Gun and Pawn, we say we are a step above the rest, and Blue Water Broadcasting definitely is that step.
Did you know that radio is the #1 reach platform in all of media? It's true. Call us to find out how to put radio's #1 reach to work for your business. Blue Water Broadcasting. Local folks helping local business.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers. It's time for Montgomery's conversational radio show. It's News and Views on News Talk 93.1 FM. To join the conversation, call 272-9228.
Joey Clark.
Welcome into the program. I'm your host, Joey Clark. Excuse me as I move my microphone around. Byron Sheehy here in the studio with me. How you doing today?
Doing good, man. Had a little bit of a tire issue. Some Good Samaritans, I believe the guy's name was Dale and Justin. Appreciate you.
Helped you out?
Yeah.
You had a flat?
Had a flat. They saw that it was low, pulled me over, aired it up, sent me on my way. Good Samaritans.
Nice.
Yeah.
I love hearing that at the beginning of the day. Yeah, I hate it when you get a flat tire, but it's good. Good that you got folks looking out. Old Southern hospitality, something to that effect.
Oh, yeah. Good karma.
Now you following this war?
It's hard not to.
It's everywhere, wall to wall. Oil prices shot up like crazy. Energy prices shot up. And the big thing is, I noticed it. I saw it live yesterday, and I thought this. Is Rubio essentially said, yeah, because Israel was about to attack, and if Israel felt like they had to attack, we would have, all our personnel and assets in the region would have been attacked by Iran. So we might as well lead this attack and not just be reactive to what will definitely be coming. And so folks are like, so because of what Israel did, we got pulled into this? And now you have Caroline Leavitt, you have Bibi Netanyahu last night on Hannity, you have President Trump just sitting down with the German prime minister or president or whatever, saying, or the German chancellor, no, I wasn't forced into this. But it wasn't just Rubio who said it. It was Speaker of the House Mike Johnson. It was Senator Tom Cotton. They all said the same thing, that if Israel attacked and Israel felt like they had to, if Israel attacked Iran, our personnel would be attacked anyway, so we might as well just go full bore in ourselves. So it sounds like it was a briefing given to top people like on the Gang of Eight or, say, the Speaker of the House, that this was the rationale behind it. Now, I'm going to play all the clips. I'm going to play what Trump recently said just this morning, reaction, the full Rubio tape, because a reporter in the room said, did you just say that? And he goes, no, that's not what I mean. That's just one aspect of the realities of the region. Something to that effect. So there's a lot there to jump into. That said, Iran militarily cannot deal with the United States Air Force and our capabilities, or Israel's for that matter. The question becomes, has this ever worked? Have you ever actually successfully prosecuted what is going to be a regime change war without boots on the ground, with just pure air power?
Didn't someone cite a 100-year history of that never being successful on its own? Like, you have to have boots on the ground?
Right. Yeah, and that's been a long, kind of just hard learned fact. Yeah. But perhaps there are dynamics we don't understand on the ground. But
maybe some of those boots would be the Iranian people.
Right. Perhaps. Could be also we've already been arming the Kurds, we and all our allies in the region, so to speak.
Yeah, and they keep popping off on some of those other Middle Eastern countries. May not just be a bunch of, American dudes over there.
Yeah. And you've got competing narratives right now where the National Review folks are saying, Rubio didn't say that. And now the Federalist is saying how Israel chain-ganged the Trump administration into war against Iran.
This seems like a bad case of messaging to me, because if we just focus on it from the reality of the situation, which is 99.99% correct, I believe that if Israel attacked on their own, then all of our bases and troops over there would have been in harm's way. The vital interest aspect alone of that, I think, commands us to do something in unison and not be more reactive.
Well, it's become just strange also in terms of the strange bedfellows reacting to this. For instance, Jeb Bush celebrated Trump doing this. Every neocon, like John Bolton, celebrated Trump doing this. Trump is pointing to folks to read a Marc Thiessen piece at the Washington Post, longtime war hawk and stuff. And it's like all the folks that Trump used to make fun of and would destroy, it's now he's citing them. It is, and he's bashing, not in a too over-the-top way, but, Tucker Carlson's not happy about this. Megyn Kelly's not happy about this. Trump was asked about it. He said, well, they're the true MAGA is whatever I say. Essentially, it was Trump's point. I am MAGA.
He ain't wrong on that.
I agree, but it's also like, okay, we'll just do what we need to do. J.D. Vance, of course, defending his boss, saying he's smart enough to not get us into some Afghanistan or Iraq thing, and we have a clear, laid-out goals. Rubio, everybody in the administration defending this. Where I come down is, number one, there's a lot I don't know, and that the average person, no matter how many followers they have on X or YouTube or whatever, just don't know. Mm-hmm. And I think what this comes down to is how long does it take, and is it successful?
Define the objectives, be clear about it, and accomplish the mission and come home.
But I do want to begin with Tucker Carlson. He posted this yesterday afternoon, quoting John Henry Newman, who I believe is a Catholic theologian. It's a prayer written by John Henry Newman. And so for all the back and forth we're about to get into, for all the hot takes that are out there on will this work, will it not work? Is it a betrayal of the campaign messaging and campaign promises? What's this going to do to midterms? What's this going to do to energy prices? Oh, by the way, we both have Hillary and Bill Clinton testifying about the Epstein stuff. In some ways, it was comical. In other ways, frustrating. In some ways, actually interesting. There were a few moments where Hillary and James Comer, the head of oversight, were on the same page, talking about, can you, given your experience as Secretary of State and a pretty active First Lady, let's just say, during your husband's presidency, does he seem like an asset? And like they actually had a long conversation about Epstein getting in front of everybody, getting a camera, like a photo with everybody under the sun, like collecting information. And so a lot of fascinating moments. Also, Bill just like oogling old photos and
That's
stuff.
what I was chuckling about, was when his attorney had to grab the document from him. So
we'll get in. We got a lot to get into. But let's begin with this. This is what Tucker posted, quoting the Catholic John Henry Newman, eternal God, in whose perfect kingdom no sword is drawn but the sword of righteousness, no strength known but the strength of love. So mightily spread abroad your spirit, that all peoples may be gathered under the banner of the Prince of Peace, as children of one God, to whom be dominion and glory, now and forever. Amen. Amen. And let's hope that not only for this war, but the rumor of any other war or any that comes to pass, that prayer comes true in the fullness of time. 272-9228 if you want to jump in on the program. That's 334-272-9228. But somebody called early. I don't know. Like just as we got going. You're on there. Who's us?
Hey, Scott. It's Nectarine.
Or this is Joey. You're on the Joey Clark Live.
You're okay. Well, have you moved back to the Montgomery station?
I don't know. The show, if you're referencing the show before mine, I have no idea, man.
You know, for a while you'd gone to WYDE in Birmingham.
Yeah, I don't know. You'll have to call them back between 9 and noon tomorrow. I appreciate the call, sir. Trying to be nice.
a little out-of-pocket listener.
Yeah, I'm like, if you heard the whole beginning there, sitting on hold, sometimes, man.
But here on News Talk 93.1.
News Talk 93.1 FM, WACV. So let's begin. This is the thing that got everybody going, what? What did you just say, Secretary of State Rubio? Yeah, I know you got a lot of jobs, man. And you got to keep all this straight because it's happening. Like, the news on this war it's like drinking out of a fire hose in many ways. But this is the moment, and I was watching on that screen right over there, reading the closed captioning, and we were actually reading it verbatim, and that one caught me. I'm like, what? Like, even if it's, like, not exactly what you meant, it's poor messaging. Like, in this media environment, that's the dumbest thing you have ever said, Marco.
Especially on the heels of Huckabee's slip up a few weeks ago.
Yes. So here is the Secretary of State yesterday. This is the short clip that got everybody's attention. Caroline Levitt shared a longer clip where a reporter asked a follow-up question. But let's listen in.
The United States conducted this operation with a very clear goal in mind. I haven't got a chance to see a lot of reporting. I don't understand what the confusion is. Let me explain it to you, and I'll do it once again as clearly as possible. Perhaps you'll report it that way. The United States is conducting an operation to eliminate the threat of Iran's short-range ballistic missiles and the threat posed by their Navy, particularly to naval assets. That is what it is focused on doing right now, and it's doing quite successfully. I'll leave it to the Pentagon and the Department of War to discuss the tactics behind that and the progress that's being made. That is the clear objective of this mission. The second question that's been asked is, why now? Well, there's two reasons why now. The first is it was abundantly clear that if Iran came under attack by anyone, the United States or Israel or anyone, they were going to respond against the United States. The orders had been delegated down to the field commanders. It was automatic, and in fact, it bared to be true because, in fact, within an hour of the initial attack on the leadership compound, the missile forces in the south and in the north, for that matter, had already been activated to launch. In fact, those had already been pre-positioned. The third is the assessment that was made that if we stood and waited for that attack to come first before we hit them, we would suffer much higher casualties. And so the president made the very wise decision. We knew that there was going to be an Israeli action. We knew that that would precipitate an attack against American forces. And we knew that if we didn't preemptively go after them before they launched those attacks, we would suffer higher casualties and perhaps even higher those killed. And then we would all be here answering questions about why we knew that and didn't act.
We knew there was going to be an Israeli action, so we decided to jump in. It's kind of like your friend getting you into a bar fight.
I was thinking the same thing. We're like the big, strong friend, silent type, and then all of a sudden you got this drunk friend that's getting into fights all the time. Can't understand why he's always getting into fights. Like, what are we trying to do?
Now, there's a lot of fallout from that. You had Bibi Netanyahu being asked by Sean Hannity. And, Hannity asking the big, tough question.
Mm-hmm.
It's, of course, why Bibi Netanyahu went on there, because he asked the big, tough questions. He's so critical of everybody he brings on. That's just the nature of the business, ain't it? Like, you got to be nice if you want to get the guest, if you want to be a member of the team.
Got to play ball, Joey.
But here's Hannity asking Bibi Netanyahu direct. Some people saying Israel dragged Donald Trump into this.
And I want to ask you this. There are people that say, well, the prime minister of Israel dragged Donald Trump into it. And as somebody that's been friends with him over 30 years, nobody drags Donald Trump into anything, number one. But I want to get your reaction to that.
Well, you're right. I mean, that's ridiculous. Donald Trump is the strongest leader in the world. He does what he thinks is right for America. He does also what he thinks is right for future generations. And frankly, we're partners in that effort, because I've devoted my life to securing the life of the one and only Jewish state. And believe me, it's been a struggle.
But hold on, remember how Trump announced this? Remember that quick video? And Trump's just wearing a hat. He's not even wearing a tie. You'd think for a major operation, it would be it seemed like the U.S. was caught a little off guard.
Well, it seems like he got exactly what he wanted in that response.
That too.
Have you seen any sort of coverage on what the imminent threat to Israel from Iran? Surely they have some sort of intel that shows that they were gearing up for a major attack or something.
Sure. And Witkoff on Hannity's show, Steve Witkoff said, well, the Iranians talk about all this enriched uranium, the Iranian uranium, and that they could make 11 bombs with. And it's well, yeah, but that's been known since IAEA inspections since last year, man. Now, they then said, well, the Iranians were trying to strong-arm us in the meeting. So we didn't like that one bit. But here, a reporter caught what me and everybody else caught. But keep in mind, again, that the way Trump announced this, the style of the video, it's not high quality. It's kind of they were caught a little off guard. They knew, the layout of the land, as you heard Rubio suggest earlier. But they didn't know this was the moment the strike is about to happen. Just seemed a little rushed. But here is Rubio being asked, did Israel actually, you're saying Israel brought you into this? Was the U.S. forced to strike because of an impending Israeli action? Isn't that what Rubio just said?
I believe so.
Well, here is the Secretary of State answering that question.
The U.S. was forced to strike because of an impending Israeli action?
No, let me two things I would say. Number one is, no matter what, ultimately this operation needed to happen. That's the question of why now. But this operation needed to happen because Iran in about a year or a year and a half would cross the line of immunity, meaning they would have so many short-range missiles, so many drones, that no one could do anything about it because they could hold the whole world hostage. Look at the damage they're doing now. And this is a weakened Iran. Imagine a year from now. So that had to happen. Obviously, we were aware of Israeli intentions and understood what that would mean for us, and we had to be prepared to act as a result of it. But this had to happen no matter what.
Well, who's leading here?
No one could have done anything about it. We couldn't have used any of our electromagnetic pulse stuff to drop neutrons or anything like that. Huh.
Who's leading here? And by the way, it wasn't just Marco Rubio. Here is the Speaker of the House yesterday. Mike Johnson. Which, by the way, for the longest time, I thought Mike Johnson, that's a cool cat right there. Like, he's somber, he's put together, all before he was Speaker of the House. And then he became Speaker of the House, and it's like somebody has something on. There's something about these leadership positions in our government that changes people all of a sudden. You got to wonder, what the heck is that?
They're compromised.
Let's listen into the speaker.
Point is that this was a defensive measure, a defensive operation. And why is that? I took some notes, and this is not classified, so I'll tell you what I think is important. Israel was determined to act in their own defense here, with or without American support.
Okay.
Why? Because Israel faced what they deemed to be an existential threat. Iran was building missiles at a radical and a rapid clip to the point where our allies in the region could not keep up. As you know, Iran has long vowed to take out Israel, wipe it off the map, and they have long seen that as a critical threat to their very existence. Because Israel was determined to act, with or without the U.S., our commander-in-chief and the administration and the officials I just named had a very difficult decision to make. They had to evaluate the threats to the U.S., to our troops, to our installations, to our assets in the region and beyond. And they determined, because of the exquisite intelligence that we had, that if Israel fired upon Iran and took action against Iran to take out the missiles, then they would have immediately retaliated against U.S. personnel and assets.
Now, that makes it even more explicit, the whole bar fight thing we mentioned. And Rubio trying to backpedal, like, no, this needed to happen anyway. Yeah, but did it need to happen at this exact moment? For these exact,
Well, they're an existential threat, man.
Well, we've been hearing that for a long, long time.
That's my point.
Right.
I mean, we've had all this time. We're lucky. If we didn't act then, I mean, it would have been too late.
Well, and maybe the reality is this had to be the time to go, because if you have another round of American elections, 2, 4, 6 years, I don't know there's support.
Really?
Yeah, it's already changing like crazy, in particular the United States relationship with the state of Israel.
I don't understand why they didn't just lean more into the, okay, so Iran gives China X amount of oil. You know, China's a growing player geopolitically. We had to do this for our long-term survival.
Oh, and they've been saying all that.
But that's not what they said there.
Right.
They've been very clear, and our buddies Israel over here said they felt like they were going to be attacked, so they needed to do something, and we felt like we were going to be attacked because they were attacked, so that's why we did something first.
Yep, and again, it's not Rubio, it's not just Mike Johnson. Here's Senator Tom Cotton.
There's a story out there that the president was pushed into this battle by Benjamin Netanyahu. What's the truth?
Well, first, Brian, no one pushes or drags Donald Trump anywhere. He acts in the vital national security interest of the United States. And second, Secretary Rubio addressed this point yesterday after our Gang of Eight briefing. Israel faced an existential risk, and they were prepared to strike Iran alone. If that happened, Iran was very likely to target our troops. That may address the question of why now? Why not 2 weeks ago? Why not 2 months from now? The president, though, did not want to put our troops in harm's way. The more fundamental question, though, is why? Why did we have to carry out this operation against Iran? And as I said, that's because they have a vast missile arsenal that far exceeds our combined missile defenses, and it gets worse every single month.
But there is a chance that they might not have attacked us, though, right?
Well, here's the thing. There have been people for weeks kind of quietly screaming about this, the military buildup of the United States forces.
Right.
So because of that buildup and that presence, yes, that makes us...
Yeah. It's like if people are circling around you, you might put your head on a swivel.
So it sounds like you could say dragged into this, whatever, forced our hand, made us essentially make this decision.
I want to hear more about the intel on the threat, the imminent threat.
The imminent threat, indeed.
That Iran or Israel was facing. Because we bombed them out, 8 months ago?
Yeah. Yeah. And it's very frustrating to see the Trump administration at this point, I think, scrambling and spinning. The only thing that I'm hoping for is that this will be effective militarily and it will create a lasting peace. I hope for it. I can pray for it. But history shows, number one, pure air power does not prove effective in pure regime change wars. It can be a decisive factor, but it can't dictate who actually runs things on the ground.
How did all them regime changes turn out for us, even when they were successful?
Right. Right. I thought you said no more of these. Well, we went like no more stupid wars. Like, we didn't say no more wars. We said no more stupid wars. Or it's like Obama's weasel wars. No more wars of choice. Only wars of necessity. So like Libya. War of necessity, right? And that worked out great. That didn't help destabilize Europe even more, right? Not to mention Libya itself. Very, very, very frustrating indeed. And so here, just a second ago, the president, he's doing one of those sit-downs with the foreign leader thing with the chancellor, leader of Germany, or whatever, Merz. And Trump himself is asked about this. Well, let's get it right direct from the president. I suspect you know what he might say. The answer being no. I wasn't forced into this. But given everything everybody just told us, seemed pretty clear. And I'm sorry, even if you like the idea, as Cotton seems to, and Rubio seems to, and every neocon, Jeb Bush, John Bolton, all these other folks seem to and been talking about for decades of doing, you can make those arguments. It seems the American voter had rejected a lot of those arguments, but of course foreign policy isn't dictated by what the people actually vote for. But beyond the argument, should or should we not go, it seems like not even the commander-in-chief of the United States, because of this buildup, because of the position of this, really had a choice in the matter of why right now. You even heard Senator Cotton say, well, maybe that speaks to why right now instead of 2 weeks later. Well, right now is what's happening, man, and once you start this up, good luck putting the genie back in the bottle.
What's going to happen? I mean, rhetorical question here. Say this goes 6 months. Say energy prices keep going up. Mm-hmm. A bunch of people who have no idea where Iran is on a map, every time they go to the gas station, they are going to be ticked off about this. It may not register in any way for another month.
No, I think you're right, and that Americans will care. Americans, I think, don't mind, like the Maduro thing, there's a bunch of freak out, but it seems to have worked. Well, and a lot of Americans go, okay, I think Americans do just kind of practically care about, did it work? What was the cost to us?
Oh, I don't even think it's that. I think it's, America, by God, 1, Iran 0. Like, it's just the score, just the rah-rah. But
but that goes away.
Whenever Bubba's got to go pump some gas in the truck.
That can go away. Yeah. But here's the president being asked about this direct this morning.
Mr. President, did Israel force your hand to launch these strikes against Iran? Did Netanyahu pull the United States into this war?
No, I might have forced their hand. You see, we were having negotiations with these lunatics, and it was my opinion that they were going to attack first. They were going to attack. If we didn't do it, they were going to attack first. I felt strongly about that. And we have great negotiators, great people that do this very successfully and have done it all their lives very successful. And based on the way the negotiation was going, I think they were going to attack first. And I didn't want that to happen. So if anything, I might have forced Israel's hand. But Israel was ready and we were ready. And we've had a very, very powerful impact because virtually everything they have has been knocked out now.
Also, Trump putting out a post earlier today saying our weapon stockpiles are now virtually unlimited.
I'm confused. So was the intel actually military-grade intel, or was it a read during the negotiation?
You're asking great questions. No, it's actually I who forced their hand.
I mean, I trust the president. He wrote the art of the deal.
You know, there's one guy out there that I just want to say, God bless Matt Walsh. The guy has been, you know, he's a bit of a curmudgeon. Doesn't seem like a warm, fuzzy teddy bear by any means, but he put this out yesterday. I can't take the gaslighting, guys. I really can't. Conservatives are now running around saying Iran has been waging war on us for 47 years. Okay, then why didn't any of you call for an attack on Iran at any point until now? Why didn't you make a case for Trump ending the war, not starting it until precisely the moment when Trump did? You and I both know that you are latching on to a talking point you never used until 45 seconds ago. Except for the neocons who have been calling for this for decades. You and I both know that almost every conservative influencer in the business was opposed to war with Iran until just now. And now you're trying to use justifications that stretch back decades. It doesn't make any sense. If you changed your mind, fine, say so. Explain why. You're allowed to change your mind. I've changed my mind about things. But don't try to rewrite history. Be honest about it. There's too much at stake to play these games. And of course, a bunch of response. And Walsh said, the gaslighters are responding with more gaslighting. Yes, I'm well aware that neocons have been calling for an Iran invasion forever. I obviously wasn't talking about them. I'm referring to the MAGA conservatives, America Firsters, Trump's base. The people I talk to every single day. Attacking Iran was not a policy priority for them. And it wasn't. It hasn't been. And many were expressly against it. Trying to rewrite that history now is just grotesque, insulting our intelligence. Make your case for this operation, but just be honest. Come on. No, I don't think people are going to be honest. That's not the nature of any of this.
I'd settle for we're just trying to put Persian women back in bathing suits at this point, man.
Yeah, maybe that's the best reason. Oh, by the way, the Israelis just struck the meeting of the Iranian Supreme Council where officials were gathered to choose a new supreme leader. So, you know, the Ayatollah is dead. Very dead. I don't shed a tear in that way. And I guess more people who are trying to pick a new Ayatollah are dead. Very dead.
Top 40, I heard.
And when you look at the military aspect of this, the United States and Israel are dominating Iran. Dominating them.
And I think it shows kind of how much Russia was kind of bogged down in the Ukraine as well.
Absolutely. And China doesn't want to jump into this. But the messaging around the reasons why, and in particular why right now, it's a bit all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
And when you see all the folks Trump and Trump's base criticized for years, like a Jeb Bush celebrating this, or a Marc Thiessen of the Washington Post, or the mustache, John Bolton, like you just see like all these folks piling up, you're like, man, well, it's an old libertarian talking point. I think Tom Woods came up with it. No matter who you vote for, you get John McCain. On certain issues, I think that's the truth.
Uncle Sam wants you, baby.
Of course, again, I hope and pray that this will end to a lasting peace. It will not cost more American lives, or lives in general, for that matter, and that the Iranians get a government that isn't oppressing them. And then we get the ladies back in the bathing suits and plenty of other reasons to have freedom in that country, according to their own terms. But as I hope and pray for that, I'm shaking my head at the spin going on. I've learned not to second-guess Trump too much. Don't be a panic, and I agree. But the excuse-making being given right now, well, it just belies a truth. Especially on foreign policy, and it goes on at the State House. I know this for a fact. We don't do what the people say. The people are the sheep to be led. The shepherd is not led by the sheep. We lead the sheep. And so leadership has decided this is what we're doing. Now you go sell it. And it could be a stupid tax bill at the State House level, or especially when it comes to the United States federal government, the latest war. Get in line. Support it. Don't you dare say a word. And I said this yesterday, I'll keep saying it. It is especially when bombs are dropping and people feel that, and I feel it too, that like, we can do anything. Look at how impressive and excellent all this stuff. That is when you most should humble yourself before God. Or you will be humbled.
What's all saying, just because you can doesn't mean you should.
Yep. Anyway, we'll be right back.
Want to carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
Good afternoon, everybody. It's Jay Scott with Blue Water Broadcasting here at Corky's Custom Homes. We're in Prattville, Highway 31 South here in Prattville. And it's our Warm Hearts for Seniors supply drive that we're working on here, and we need your help to do it. It's for the Central Alabama Aging Consortium, which serves Montgomery and Elmore and Otago counties as well. And we're just trying to help seniors live independent and productive lives, but we need supplies in order to do that, and that's where you come in. You can stop by Corky's here today. I'm here until 1, but you can stop by anytime during regular business hours and drop off your supplies. Whatever's convenient for you is convenient for us and the consortium there, but also you can drop off at any of our other sponsor locations as well. But I'd love to see you. I'd love you to come by here, Corky's, today, and we're going to be here until 1. Things you can drop off, we're thinking stress balls or blankets. We've also got a replacement shake, meal replacement shakes that you can drop off as well, exercise stretch bands, things like that. So come on by, say hello. If you need more information, just go to bluewaterbroadcasting.com or any of our Facebook pages, and you can find out more there. I'm Jay Scott at Corky's in Prattville, here till 1 o'clock for Blue Water Broadcasting.
For many homeowners, there's untapped reserves hiding in plain sight. It's not in the savings account. It's not in the stock market. It's right under your roof. Now more than ever, homeowners are sitting on record levels of home equity, and that equity belongs to you. It can be used to consolidate high-interest credit card debt, to pay expensive school tuition, to cover medical expenses, to invest in renovations, you name it, because that money is yours. This isn't about taking on unnecessary debt. It's about using an asset you already own to improve your financial position and your quality of life. The key is understanding your options and choosing the strategy that fits your goals. Let's see what's possible with the equity in your home. Give us a call at Alabama Home Mortgage today at 334-567-4223 or visit us online at myalabamahomemortgage.com. That's Alabama Home Mortgage, because there is a difference in mortgage companies. NMLS 1586368, Equal Housing Lender.
Join Blue Water Broadcasting for Warm Hearts for Seniors. We're teaming up to collect badly needed supplies for the Central Alabama Aging Consortium, serving seniors and disabled adults across Otago, Elmore, and Montgomery counties. Drop off items like cleaning supplies, blankets, fans, meal replacement shakes, stretch bands, and stress balls at Corky's Homes, Highway 31 South in Prattville, for a forever home you can afford. Catch us live on location from March 2nd through March 13th. Let's show the river region what warm hearts can do. Visit us at bluewaterbroadcasting.com and help us make a difference today.
This is your roving reporter, and today I'm talking with a political activist.
That's right, man.
And could you please explain to us your red cap with the letters MMRGA?
Yeah, man, this is my MARGA hat.
MARGA?
Yeah, man, that stands for Make My Retirement Great Again.
I see.
And to do that, what you need to do is call David Ernest,
the asset preservationist.
That's right, man. You can call David at 833-596-7233. That's 833-596-SAFE.
And I understand that's a toll-free number.
Yeah, man. Get David Ernest on the case, and your retirement will be great again.
And you make these hats?
I do. Here's a whole pile left from the last administration.
And they say CPWABD.
Yeah, man. Corn Pop was a bad dude.
And as you said, there's a whole pile here.
Well, there wasn't much demand.
I can dig it.
Rich Thomas Weather is brought to you by Wiley Sanders Truck Lines.
Go to work for a family that puts God and family first. Wiley Sanders is looking for experienced dump truck drivers. Call them today, 855-777-9785. Drive for Wiley Sanders Truck Lines and be part of the family.
Rich Thomas Weather.
Very comfortable temperatures continue on this first week of March. I think we will be in the upper 70s today, probably lower 80s on Wednesday. Good bit of sunshine both days. Mostly clear tonight. Overnight low temperature down to about 54. The warm temperatures will continue. We'll be in the low to mid 80s Thursday through Saturday, with the risk of some scattered showers, maybe some thunderstorms around from time to time. And that risk will continue on Sunday as well. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
CB&S Bank, serving families and communities since 1906. Proud to be named 16th best performing bank nationally in their asset category by American Banker. Learn more at cbsbank.com. CB&S Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Live local talk. The River Region's only 24-hour News Talk FM station. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. Let's go right to the phones, talk to Martha. Hey, Martha, how you doing?
Hey, Joey. Well, I got a couple of things. I'm going to have to unpack a suitcase on this one, okay?
All right.
If we do go back, way back there when they took over everything, I was a teenager, okay? And I saw all that happen. And then over all these years, like you say, there's been all these things that happened, and we didn't do anything. And now, if you think about it, they've been sitting over there for the last, maybe, let's say 5 years, and they have been just collecting all these weaponry to use however they want to. And they've been doing it against Israel. And they haven't done it against everybody else yet because they were all leaving it alone. So, just pick on Israel. But in the meantime, they were doing it, with Hezbollah, all these people they're helping to finance throughout the world. They're there. It's just like a sleeper cells that we've got in this country because, we had an open door for a couple of years, so there's no telling how many we got here. And then this goes to this. On Saturday morning, when we had just bombed, there was people in the streets demonstrating already. So you don't think we're not loaded over here with all of that ideology that they have done? They have taken the last 40 years and taken their ideology and put it into our young people, and they now think, the guys, for one reason, man, if you're in that club, you get to control all the women, okay? It's complete. So they've picked up a lot of people all over the world while we've left them alone. And, when we became them globalists, we got all of that stuff. So now that we found out they don't play real nice, they're going to keep on doing what they're going to do. And if everybody's worried about the oil, they could cut it off any day they want to. They're there. They're already there. So you better get damn control of them, okay? That's my opinion. Okay?
Why now?
Why now? Because they probably have enough intelligence to know that, yes, if Israel hit them, they were going to hit our bases, okay? Number two, they were going to hit Saudi Arabia, who has stayed out of everything over all the years. Think about it, over all the years. Saudi didn't do anything to anybody, but have you seen their cities now? Have you seen what they've done with their money? And they don't go around with the ideology of that, we got to control you. Okay, they do control, but they don't control like they do.
I'm not going to prejudge this in the sense of we'll see if it happens, and I hope it works out. But it sounds like Israel's driving the car here on why now?
I think it's a combination. Okay, Israel doesn't have much choice because they've been getting hit from every direction until lately. Because Syria was in there and Lebanon. Somebody was throwing a bullet at them all the time from somewhere. And so I think they realize, all of them do, that Iran has made enough weaponry that if they start doing it, they can shut everybody down right there around Israel and stuff. And the biggest thing, like right now when they've thrown these bombs into the civilian places, that's to make us fearful. And once you make us fearful, we'll tell everybody, stop doing that, stop doing that. And that's what they want. It's like after 9/11, Joey, I was scared to go to a football game.
Yes, ma'am.
I went to a Jimmy Buffett concert 2 months later and had to be a wand put over me. And all of us are looking around going, I don't think there's anybody here that's going to bomb us. But that's what we had to live under, okay?
So if you got to go, waste away in Margaritaville is not the worst time.
Well, that's what I said. I won't say what some of us said, okay? But, Jimmy had to hold the show for 30 minutes because of that. And, so as a person, I'm 68 years old now, and I've seen all these wars and all this stuff, and what you say, how are we going to do it without the boots on the ground? Well, I'm going to tell you, somebody needs to have a plan that there's a place where we're going to drop all the weaponry and tell them folks to come on over there, and we'll give you the weapons, and y'all can start. And if they got enough intelligence, if they had enough intelligence to bomb them, the leaders again this morning, they got some damn good intelligence out there.
True.
You know?
Oh, yeah. No, there's no denying the military superiority of the United States and Israel over Iran at the moment. But we'll just have to keep watching the ball bounce and the dates on the calendar move, and we'll see where this goes. And I appreciate the call, as always, Martha, and the reasons you're offering there. Let's go to East of the Rockies. Hey, East.
Hey, good afternoon. Something that I haven't heard discussed, and I kind of understand why they wouldn't discuss it a whole lot, but something that I read, I'm in the field today, so I don't have access to the reference, but something that I read was that they had enough fissionable material to make 11 tactical weapons.
Mm-hmm.
Now, my question is this. Would it be okay if they used one of those weapons on Tel Aviv? Would it be okay if they used it on Rome, Paris, London? Probably not London because they have a lot of allies there. But how about the east coast of the United States? It probably wouldn't be a big boom, but it would be enough to destroy the thyroid glands of millions of Americans.
Yeah, dirty bomb.
Yeah, it could kill a lot of people if it was detonated in the upper atmosphere.
I hear where you're coming from, but that fact was not just found out at the recent negotiations. That fact has been known since last year. And add to this, the Trump administration, we fully got it. We destroyed their nuclear capability after Midnight Hammer. And now, they were on the cusp after you destroyed their capability of being able to pull something off? I mean, it's just not. The story keeps getting retold and rewoven every time we revisit this, and that's the frustrating part.
Sure, I understand that, but I also am aware that those weapons or that material might still be extant somewhere, and the race is to find it, and that's who do we want getting a hold of it? And I'm not completely convinced that everything's been rounded up. Sure, it's been destroyed, but that's the only thing. I mean, if they hit L.A., then my grandchildren are there, and I don't want that.
Right. I hear you, man. Loud and clear.
All right.
Well, appreciate it, East.
Thank you, sir.
272-9228. But I hope people are understanding my point. I'm not, again, prejudging this. I'm not sitting in some command and control center looking at all the different. I'm not looking at actionable intelligence. I'm a jackass on the radio, Montgomery, Alabama. But I do know media consumption and the spinning and the justifications for this, in particular, why now. It's just not adding up.
I do want to see, let me rephrase that. I hope we don't see sleeper cell activation truly across this country. If it hasn't happened already, I'm kind of curious what they might be waiting on, because it seems like now would be a good time for all that.
Well, and for instance, what if it's like, okay, we need to arm the Kurds and the Kurdish militias and other different folks to help fight and all this stuff. What if the Kurds spring for their own state?
I mean, I'd be cool with it.
Yeah, but then what does Turkey do?
Or Israel or anyone else? Yeah.
It's just, and there's a lot of what ifs. That's the problem. You can't see the future.
Well,
nobody has a crystal ball. Really.
I love the argument. Let's go fight this war so we can have peace. Let's go fight this war so we can have peace.
This will be after this one.
By God, we'll get the right people
done after
in there.
This one.
We won't have any more problems.
We're sorry it didn't work out after World War I. We said it was the war to end all wars, and we had to fight another big one after that.
But we got somebody there now.
Right.
This one, he'll get it right.
Right. And by the way, that can cut against the anti-war people. all war happens just because people are mean and stuff. It's like, no, I think that's just part of our fallen nature as human beings.
There's only so many resources
blame
on
Adam.
this rock, man.
Blame Adam and Eve.
Only so many resources on this rock.
Anyway, we got to hit this break. First, this part of the program brought to you by Dylan Rings. And there at Dylan Rings, Josh and Leslie Ryder are ready to help you out with any and all of your jewelry needs. And aquamarine is the birthstone for March as we enter in the month of March. And so Josh is asking there on Dylan Rings, do you have any aquamarine jewelry? You can post your favorite one there in the comments, but say you are a March baby. Why not get by Dylan Rings, get you some jewelry custom made with some aquamarine?
Well, this
beautiful stone.
This time of year with all the green and everything, everybody needs some aquamarine.
It's a beautiful stone. And of course, I'm sure they have products there in stock and that great inventory of theirs. But it doesn't hurt to just sit down and talk to Josh and do a consultation with him about what he can make custom for you. Thinking I might do that here before too long. I got an idea in my head I don't want to share just yet.
Ooh, you should.
But I'm thinking, if Josh, if you're listening, I'm going to get in touch with you, man. I'm see what we can do custom-wise. I got some ideas lately. But folks, get by there. He's so easy to work with. Leslie is too. They really have a great, great shop. I'll tell you more about all they offer at Dylan Rings a little later in the program. But get by there, you March babies, for the aquamarine birthstone at Dylan Rings. They're at 119 Brown Springs Road here in Montgomery, just off of Atlanta Highway. And be sure to tell them that Joey and Byron, this fella's on the radio, sent you.
He may not know whether he's coming or going, but whether you're going to work or coming home, Greg Budell is there. Mornings, 6 till 9, and afternoons, 3 till 6. Only on News Talk 93.1 FM, WACV.
Good afternoon, everybody. Jay Scott with Blue Water Broadcasting at Corky's Custom Homes in Prattville on Highway 31 South. Going to be here until 1 o'clock, so a little bit longer left to go here. If you want to stop by and say hello, drop off those supplies for our Warm Hearts for Seniors campaign here. We are trying to get supplies for the Central Alabama Aging Consortium. It serves Montgomery, Elmore, and Autauga counties. Just trying to help seniors, live productive lives, independent lives as well, that they can enjoy. But we need supplies to help them do that with, fans. As the weather gets warmer here, we've got meal replacement shakes, exercise stretch bands we're looking for, stress balls, blankets, and lots more can be appreciated if you can drop those off. Now, you can get more information about what we're looking for by going to our website, bluewaterbroadcasting.com, or you can also go to this station's Facebook page and find out more information that way as well. We're going to be here at Corky's until 1, but you can drop off anytime after that during regular business hours. You can drop off at any of our other sponsor locations around town, which we're going to be at the rest of this week and next week as well, or you can drop it off right there at the radio station. We really appreciate your help. We're at Corky's here for Warm Hearts for Seniors. I'm Jay Scott for Blue Water Broadcasting.
Hi, I'm Carl Schmidt, naturopath and owner of the Herb Shop Wellness Center at 8161 Vaughan Road. With over 30 years experience in natural wellness, I've seen countless health fads come and go. A few years ago, we added a patented technology that actually activates your stem cells. It reverses the aging process at the cellular level. However, you do need proper hydration and targeted nutrition. At the Herb Shop, our advanced scanning and testing technology allows us to accurately assess your nutritional needs and get a customized plan for you. Come in today and see what the Herb Shop can do for you.
Welcome to Eclectic Coins, Montgomery's largest coin dealer, specializing in buying and selling investment-grade gold and silver coins. And they have a large selection of rare coins and coins from around the world. Visit them at 543 Northeastern Boulevard or on the web at eclecticcoins.com. Eclectic Coins, where collectors who know go.
On FM, on your smartphone, and online, the River Region's most trusted voice. News Talk 93.1 FM, WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. Let's go right to the phones before we hit our top of the hour break and talk to Simpler Days. Hey, Simpler Days. How you doing?
Hey, pretty good. Joey, I wonder what the spin was or what the rhetoric was. Do you remember in 2016 when President Obama dropped 20,000 bombs across 7 countries?
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember what the spin was then?
Well, these are wars of necessity or freedom and democracy. I don't know exactly. I don't remember.
I just think it's a different standard, for him, especially with all the talking heads, and I can't remember back that far but I know old Rush Limbaugh. Remember Rush?
Oh, I remember Rush.
Do you remember you can pull it up on YouTube, and he's one of those old ones that go back and didn't want to give up the memory of the the hostages and Beirut and all that. He had a video song on YouTube. You can pull it up, and it's to the old Beach Boys song Barbara Ann, but it was bomb, 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 Iran.
Yeah, oh yeah.
And he'd play that thing over and over.
No, and honestly, on the issue of presidents being able to use this sort of authority, the only people who have been consistent on it would be my libertarian friends. The Republicans and Democrats damn each other when the other side does it and defend themselves when the shoe's on the other foot. I think the idea that presidents are limited, whether you think you have a good constitutional theory or not, I'm sorry, libertarians, that's just cat's out of the bag. Presidents do this sort of thing.
Well, I'm a firm believer in history always repeats itself, and all I've got to do is now when I go to an airport, what a hassle it is. I hate to fly because of those folks over there on the other side of the ocean. And whatever we do, however we regain our freedom and independence of movement to get separated, and none of them, Joey, would have a clue. If we hadn't gone over there in the 1920s, Shell Oil had gone over to Iraq and shown them how to get oil out of the ground, they'd still all be riding camels. Have a good day.
Appreciate you, Sublight. Yeah, my sense is, no, this could be over in 2 weeks since, we accomplished our goal. You got J.D. Vance saying there's no way that Donald Trump is going to allow this country to get into a multi-year conflict with no clear end in sight and no clear objective. What happens with the regime is one form or another. It's incidental to the president's primary objective here, which is to make sure the Iranian terrorist regime does not build a nuclear bomb.
Do you think they still have that big mission accomplished banner that Bush had on the carrier that day? They can probably break it out in about 2 more weeks and call it a day.
Yeah, but if this goes on for months, U.S. personnel are under threat for months.
They'll have to break it back out again.
Say, months leading up to November. Anyway, we got to hit this break. First, this part of the program brought to you by James Cole and Cole Plumbing. And they're at Cole Plumbing. They're ready to help you with any and all of your plumbing needs. Could be you are looking to get something simple fixed, like a drippy faucet or toilet keeps running. Maybe you want to upgrade to a nicer, taller toilet to help out your knees and your hips. Or you want to get a tankless water heater system. Maybe you need a new garbage disposal. Or it could be you got a big problem like a big old leak inside or outside the house. Maybe you didn't even notice it. You just noticed the water bill skyrocketed and I didn't install a pool. Well, they can get in there and solve the problem with limited destruction, I'll put it that way. You're going to have to dig up a little bit. You're going to have to take out some drywall a little bit. But they're not going to have to rip out a bunch of nonsense in order to find it. They can fix the problem with precision and expertise with minimal discomfort to you and your home. Y'all check out Cole Plumbing today. You can always make an appointment online at coleplumbing.com or just go ahead and call them direct. 279-8919. That's 279-8919. And just remember, folks, when you have trouble with your bowl,
call on Cole.
We'll be right back.
Broadcasting from the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV Cusana, News Talk 93.1 FM. When it's Chevy, it's Riverside.
With SRN News, I'm Bob Agnew in Washington. Israel stepped up its airstrikes on Iranian missile launchers and factories, and Iran retaliated against Israel and across the Gulf region, disrupting energy supplies and travel as explosions rang out in Tehran and in Lebanon, where Israel said it struck a Hezbollah installation. The American embassy in Saudi Arabia came under a drone attack 4 days into a war that President Trump suggested would last several weeks, but perhaps longer. Hundreds of people have been killed, and the vast majority of those died inside Iran. A sell-off for stocks on Wall Street because of the ongoing concerns about the exchange of missiles. And the S&P 500 dropped by 1.2% of its value early today. The Dow Jones Industrial Average tumbled 540 points immediately. It has been vacillating a little bit since that time. This is SRN News.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell, definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. Do you feel stupid for buying a timeshare? Don't. It's not your fault. You were most likely told you could rent it, and it was a great financial investment. And the deal was available today only. If this happened to you, contact your resort or Wesley Financial Group for help today.
Call Wesley now for your free exit information kit. 800-242-3131. 800-242-3131.
Hey, I'm Mike Slater. My dad passed away at the age of 63. It's out of nowhere. Had a stroke. Super hard, obviously, for the whole family, but my dad had life insurance. This is why I have life insurance for my family, for my wife and 4 kids. And the best place to get life insurance is ethos.com, because you can do it in 10 minutes. And there's no medical exam and no blood test, just a few health questions. Get life insurance in 10 minutes so your family is protected. Ethos, E-T-H-O-S, ethos.com/
Rich Thomas weather brought to you by M&M Outdoors. Book your stay today at campground.com for relaxation at its best. It's easy to find and hard to leave. M&M Outdoors, your home away from home.
Rich Thomas weather.
Very comfortable temperatures continue on this first week of March. I think we will be in the upper 70s today, probably lower 80s on Wednesday. Good bit of sunshine both days. Mostly clear tonight. Overnight low temperature down to about 54. The warm temperatures will continue. We'll be in the low to mid 80s Thursday through Saturday, with the risk of some scattered showers, maybe some thunderstorms around from time to time. And that risk will continue on Sunday as well. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
Budget Floors and More has the best prices. Carpet as low as 69 cents per square foot. LVP starting at $1.29 a square foot. Sheet vinyl as low as 65 cents per square foot. And the lowest prices on flooring installation supplies. Budget Floors and More across from Delray to Publix.
From the Blue Water Broadcasting News Center, here's today's top stories. Montgomery police have identified the woman killed in a Sunday evening domestic shooting. MPD responded to the 2400 block of Chase Park Drive just before 7 p.m., where a man was found dead from a self-inflicted gunshot wound. 38-year-old Shanita Lewis was taken to an area hospital where she later died from gunshot injuries. World-renowned ballet dancer Misty Copeland is coming to the capital city today. Copeland became the first black female principal dancer at American Ballet Theater in 2015. She will be in town for an evening with Misty Copeland tonight at the Davis Theater in downtown Montgomery at 6 p.m. Hundreds of civil rights leaders from across the country will gather in Selma this week for the Bridge Crossing Jubilee. This year's 61st annual event will honor the life and legacy of Reverend Jesse Jackson. The Jubilee will begin Thursday and culminate Sunday in the crossing of the Edmund Pettus Bridge. From the Blue Water Broadcasting News Center, I'm Sky Mosley.
For too long, Alabama's statewide news companies have shamed us for our conservative Christian values. Alabama deserves a news company that cherishes our culture, a company that isn't bought and paid for by the powers that be. 1819 News is that company. Run by Alabamians for Alabamians, 1819 News celebrates what is good and beautiful about our state, while exposing those who work against our values in secret. Just go to 1819news.com to learn more. Subscribe to our newsletter. That's 1819news.com. This hour of News and Views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368, an equal housing lender.
Yes?
Yeah, I'm Bill. You called about some breakers tripping?
Oh, yes, Bill. My brother-in-law says you can do almost anything.
That's me. Not much I hadn't seen.
Do you really want someone who does almost anything in your electric box? Think about that, because each year thousands of home fires are caused by faulty wiring. That's why you want a professional, like the electricians at Crosby Electric.
Bill, how's it going? Bill, ooh, are you okay?
Oh, yeah, well, I didn't really need my eyebrows anyway.
At Crosby Electric, all technicians undergo rigorous safety training, as well as background checks, drug testing, and continuing education.
Bill, you think maybe I should call a real electrician?
No, these little slip-ups happen. Everybody does it.
Really?
No, not really. When you need professional electric work or you just like someone to assess your home for safety, call the experts at Crosby Electric, 272-2085, or visit us at crosbyelectric.com.
Pizza's here.
Oh, great. I'd love some, but I'm worried about my stomach issues.
If you're worried about having diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose, oily stools, it may not just be stomach issues. It could be a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and talk to your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers. It's time for Montgomery's conversational radio show. It's News and Views on News Talk 93.1 FM. To join the conversation, call 272-9228.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. I'm your host, Joey Clark. Byron Sheehy's still here in the studio with me. And joining us here to talk about, folks, you got to remember the Harriet 2 down on the river there, downtown Montgomery. Laney Jenkins here in the studio with us. How are you today?
I'm fantastic. How are you, Joey?
I'm doing quite well. Quite well. Better than I deserve in many ways. But let's tell folks about what y'all got going on as we head into the spring season there at the Harriet 2.
Well, we're starting our 17th year on the Alabama River cruising. We'll be doing dinner cruises on Friday night. They board at 6:30, cruise 7 to 9. A wonderful fried fish or fried chicken, a really good southern meal on the river, and local entertainers, John Bull, Eric Perkins, AAA DJ, Wildcat Band, all of those guys will be joining us this year. And on Saturday nights, or Saturday afternoons at 4:30, cruising 5 to 7, we have our Saturday getaway cruise. Great way to start your weekend, start your evening on Saturday night.
Well, and I think, like, it came to my mind, this is the perfect idea for, like, a date night. Like, it's a unique experience, I think, compared to, you know, just going to a restaurant or something. Like, you still get a great meal and get some drink if that's your deal. But if folks have never been on the Harriet 2, especially like that Saturday afternoon as the sun's going down, it's just, it's a gorgeous,
beautiful.
gorgeous
And this
sight.
time of year, it's not hot. It's just perfect weather. Things are blooming. The Alabama River is just really sparkling.
Yeah, and folks, if you haven't had fun with John Bull, or I know John a little bit, or many of the others you just named, like, you can have a rip-roaring good time, too. Like, it could be a fun, like, you know, dinner, and you see on the front, but then, you know, you go up a floor and you got a dance party going on.
That's right. That's right. It's a great family atmosphere and party atmosphere because we have 3 levels, and the higher up, the more the party goes.
So if folks are interested in either the Friday night or the Saturday afternoon cruises, how can they get tickets? Do they just show up or buy beforehand?
Probably the best thing to do is to go to our website at funinmontgomery.com and go to buy tickets, and it'll take you to our calendar, and you can choose your date and what the menu's going to be. You get to select what you want to have in advance, and we'll have your seat waiting on you when you get there. It's a perfect way to do it, but you also can call our office if you have a group or want to do a private event, because we also do those. It's a great venue for weddings and wedding receptions. We just actually redid the entire inside of the boat and went very neutral so that you have a beautiful venue for a wedding or a reception. But if you would like to do that, you can call our office at 334-354. Whoops, I almost gave my cell number out on air. 334-625-2100.
625-2100.
Yes, sir.
And definitely you Verizon customers, dial 334. And that I did leave that out. Like, what a great, if you want to book it for a full-on party, get-together, it could be whatever reason. It's a great year, and we want to celebrate, or maybe, love.
We just had, and I have a package for this, someone that had a 60th birthday last Saturday, and we did a pirate theme for them. And it was fantastic. If you're interested in that, you call the office. We'll send you pictures. They were just so impressed. We do a great job with the buffet, and we had a replica of the Queen Anne out on display, and
very cool.
So it was Jolly Rogers flying on board. So,
well, folks, y'all check it out, especially for the spring season. We were talking off air that this is the sweet spot in terms of weather. I'm praying we're not going to get another freeze coming our way.
Absolutely.
And before the heat and humidity of the summer, it's beautiful any time of the year. But when you get this breezy 70-something out on the riverboat, hard to beat that. Well, have we left anything out?
I don't think so. Other than inviting everybody to come on out and cruise with us.
Well, folks, y'all check it out, the Harriet 2. And again, that's Friday nights
at 6:30 boarding, cruising 7 to 9. Saturdays 4:30 boarding, cruising 5 to 7.
And of course, you can go to funinmontgomery.com.
That's
right.
Get
those tickets. Well, good to see you, Lenny.
It's good to see you, Joey. Thank you.
Thank you. We'll be right back.
Want to carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
The employees of Adams Drugs would like to thank you for trusting us with your health care in 2025. We look forward to serving you and your family in 2026. You will continue to enjoy the same services such as immunizations, compounding, medication therapy management, delivery service, and wellness clinics, to name a few. Looking for that perfect gift for a loved one? Visit our Emily B. gift shop and find everything from Tyler candles to scout bags. Gift wrapping is available. If you have not visited Adams Drugs and experienced the award-winning customer service, we ask you to consider us for your prescription care in 2026. We have 12 convenient locations to serve you in the River Region. 8 in Montgomery, 1 in Wetumpka, Prattville, Millbrook, and Pine Level, Marbury. Please find us at adamsdrugs.net for the location that is nearest to you. Adams Drugs is your local, independently owned Health Mart pharmacy. Health Mart, taking the time to listen and care.
This is your roving reporter. Today I'm talking with a man from outer space.
What's up, Earthling?
I see you've landed your spacecraft over there in that field.
That's right, man.
My question is, why have you landed here on our planet?
I came to see David Ernest.
The asset preservationist?
Yeah, man. I wanted to see if he would take a look at my portfolio for me.
Well, before you make the trip over there, call him on his toll-free number, 833-596-7233.
And I understand those last 4 digits spell out the word safe.
That is correct.
Funny thing happened the last time I came to Earth.
What was that?
I went to the Walmart, man.
Yes?
And I accidentally went in the back door.
How did that work out?
Well, they stopped me and very gently told me that I needed to go around front and come in.
And then what did you do?
I said, cool, man. Take me to your greeter.
You flew millions of miles just for that.
Hey, man, I don't ride them. I just read them.
Are you tired of the mainstream media's biased reporting? Do you want to stay informed on the news that really matters to you? Look no further than 1819 News. At 1819 News, we bring you the latest in Alabama news, politics, sports, culture, and more. We've assembled a team of journalists with Alabama values dedicated to the truth and the truth alone. Visit us at 1819news.com today. That's 1819news.com. Subscribe to our newsletter. Honest News, Alabama Values.
Join us tomorrow from noon to 1 at Piggly Wiggly in Prattville for our Warm Hearts for Seniors supply drive. Drop off much-needed supplies to benefit the Central Alabama Aging Consortium.
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368, an equal housing lender.
When news happens, you'll hear about it first. The River Region's most trusted voice. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. Now, I want to go to an article written up just to underline the point. A gentleman named John Daniel Davidson. John Daniel Davidson for The Federalist. I guess that's Molly Hemingway's outlet.
It's got a very Federalist sounding name.
Yeah, and but they're more populist conservative for sure. They're not National Review by any means. I'll put it that way. And the title of this is How Israel Chain-Ganged the Trump Administration into War Against Iran. After several days of shifting and sometimes contradictory justifications from the Trump administration for why it launched the war against Iran over the weekend, Secretary of State Marco Rubio on Monday finally gave the reason. Israel forced us into it. Now, of course, all of them deny it. We just played all the clips. They didn't force my hand. Maybe I forced their hand. It was literally Trump's response this morning. But here's what Rubio said, quote, "It was abundantly clear that if Iran came under attack by anyone, the U.S. or Israel or anyone, they were going to respond against the U.S. And he later added, we knew there was going to be an Israeli action. We knew that would precipitate an attack against American forces, and we knew that if we didn't preemptively go after them before they launched those attacks, we would suffer higher casualties and perhaps even higher numbers of those killed. And then we would all be answering questions about why we knew that and didn't act." Now, if that's fact, I'm willing to accept that's fact. And maybe it is prudent to go ahead and go forward, but it doesn't get rid of the fact that who's driving the car on this.
I still just want to see the intel. I mean, or be told the intel. Like, whatever the imminent threat was where Israel felt like they had to act.
And again, Speaker Mike Johnson, we just played the clip, said pretty much the same thing. This was a defensive measure. If Israel fired upon Iran and took action against Iran to take out the missiles, then Iran would have immediately retaliated against U.S. personnel and assets. These remarks from Rubio and Johnson would seem to confirm recent reporting from the New York Times, which published a lengthy account Monday chronicling how President Trump decided to go to war. The article opens with this line: Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu of Israel walked into the Oval Office on the morning of February 11th, determined to keep the American president on the path to war. It goes on to explain that amid weeks of U.S.-Israeli planning for war, Trump administration officials had begun negotiating with Tehran over the future of its nuclear program. And, quoting the Times, the Israeli leader wanted to make sure that the new diplomatic effort did not undermine the war plans. Netanyahu, who has been candid about his decades-long desire to draw the U.S. into a war against Iran, was successful in this effort. The diplomatic talks with Iran faltered, and Trump gave the go-ahead to launch strikes that immediately took out Tehran's entire leadership, effectively bringing about a decapitation of the regime. Why did it happen? Not necessarily because of our decisions, but because of Israel's. According to the Times reporting, just hours before President Trump's State of the Union address last Tuesday, Rubio and John Ratcliffe, the CIA director, briefed congressional leaders from the so-called Gang of Eight about ongoing negotiations with Iran and the possibility of strikes if those talks failed. In the briefing, Mr. Rubio argued that no matter if Israel or the United States struck first, Iran would respond with a powerful barrage of weapons against U.S. bases and embassies. It was logical then, Mr. Rubio said, that the United States should act in concert with Israel since America would be dragged in anyway. And Israel, Mr. Rubio said, was determined to act. This logic sat poorly with some Democrats who thought the Trump administration was letting Mr. Netanyahu dictate American policy and was making a circular argument that the United States had to attack because its military buildup could prompt Iran to strike. This helps explain why President Trump didn't even try to make a case for war to the American people or to the Congress ahead of time. It also helps explain why no one could get a straight answer from the administration about why this war was necessary at this particular time. The truth is that there is no good answer because we allowed ourselves to get bullied into a war by Israel, which had made a decision to strike Iran, knowing that the Iranian response would pull us in. There's a term for this in international security studies when a weaker ally's vital interests clash with the stronger ally's preferences or policy, and the weaker ally manages to entrap the stronger ally into commitments that limit its freedom of action. It's called getting chain-ganged into a conflict. Some scholars say that European powers chain-ganged one another into World War I, for example, making it impossible for stronger countries like France and Britain to avoid a general European war. If what Rubio and Johnson have said is true, and what the New York Times has reported is accurate, then this is exactly what Israel has done to the United States. President Trump was entrapped, chain-ganged, into a war with Iran by Israel, our weaker ally. And it's not the first time Israel has tried to force the United States into such a conflict. As Daniel Sobelman explained in a 2018 article for Texas National Security Review, in 2011 and 2012, when Iran was hardening its nuclear program, Israel repeatedly indicated that it was fast approaching the point when it might take unilateral military action against Iran's advancing nuclear program before Iranian capabilities became resilient to an Israeli attack. By doing this, then Prime Minister Netanyahu and Defense Minister Ehud Barak, who, how did Epstein do with the whole getting you money and board seats and all that? Defense Minister Barak? But Netanyahu and Ehud Barak created a war scare, said Sobelman, the purpose of which was to extract a commitment from the United States to prevent Iran from developing a nuclear weapon by military force if necessary. Such a commitment was well beyond what the Obama administration had promised up to that point. Israel effectively attempted to influence and even force the United States to realign according to Israel's interests and strategic constraints, thus producing one of the tensest periods in the history of the two countries' relationship. The outcome of this attempt by Israel to entrap the United States in 2011-2012 was a mixed bag. On the one hand, the U.S. caved to Israeli demands by imposing crippling economic sanctions on the Iranian regime, isolating Tehran internationally, something President Obama had been reluctant to do. On the other hand, the Obama administration resisted greenlighting an Israeli strike on Iran and refused to commit the U.S. to military action. And, of course, it signed the JCPOA, which Israel opposed. In the end, though, Israel did succeed in influencing U.S. policy on Iran somewhat, even if it didn't manage to entrap the U.S. in a war. This time around, however, Israel appears to have succeeded in such entrapment, forcing the Trump administration into a war not necessarily of its choosing or timing. None of this is to say the U.S. war effort is doomed or that President Trump won't be able to pull off a compelling victory or a durable peace. But we should at least be honest about what has happened here and recognize that Israel has chain-ganged the United States into a war with Iran, a war that Trump might not otherwise have undertaken. This should at least prompt some reflection on the terms of our security commitments and partnerships going forward. If America First is to be something more than an empty slogan, surely it should mean that we steadfastly resist entrapment by weaker allies like Israel, on whose behalf we are now engaged in a massive regime change war in the Middle East.
Good times.
You know, the irony of this, and Eddie Bader is joining us.
Hey, buddy.
How are you, kind sir?
A little hot, but I'm good.
You've been just drinking like out of a fire hose, all this war like news and the latest and stuff, or you've been just watching funny videos?
No, I've been watching the war. I've got, we have
you got
the
family.
soldier in the family, and
Yeah.
he's there, and so got that going on. But no, I've just been trying to sell houses.
Okay. Yeah.
Trying to focus on selling houses.
Yeah. But it's interesting how this dynamic is played out. And here is what might be the cruel irony. It's obvious, especially with the younger generation, that support for U.S.-Israeli relations as they have been, say, the last 20, 30 years, is going away.
Yep.
And everybody knows it.
Yep.
And in fact, calling Tucker anti-Semitic and stuff, all this stuff, like how this started to just rip things apart. That's the way things are going, especially on the right. And the left already, especially after October 7th and then the war, the left, you lose complete support in many ways. So it could be the irony of Israel losing support speeds up the timeline of this sort of attack in action, knowing that in another election cycle or two, you literally will have the United States going, okay, we're just pulling out altogether. So we got to do it now.
Mm-hmm.
Because we can't count on the same playbook that's worked for 20, 30 years anymore.
Yeah, I don't know about pulling out altogether, but definitely you're going to have to stand on your own a little bit more. I mean, and whomever it was that posted Charlie Kirk's tweet from possibly going to war with Iran a couple of years ago, or maybe even just a year and a half ago, that didn't sit too well with a lot of folks.
No.
And I don't know if we talked about it last week or week before, whenever I was on, but there's been polling that shows that the support for Israel is not a left-right issue. It is an age issue.
Yes.
And that's why
Generation.
you're starting to see more of the emphasis on the PSAs on Semitic or anti-Semitic values in school and all that sort of stuff with the little blue Post-it notes and everything. So I think you're right, man. If 4 more years and the entire landscape could be completely different for just the appetite.
Right.
I mean, what is it now, 80% against?
Oh, it's huge numbers. Like, I don't know exactly. Polling, anyway.
Yeah,
It's
but
kind of an art.
4 to 8 more years, Gaza's going to be paradise.
Well, it could be, though. J.D. Vance is stepping back going, thank you for doing this now.
Doing it now. Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
But the question does become, what happens next? And as much as Vance and Trump himself and many others saying, well, we have a clear objective.
Yeah.
It's a limited, clear objective we can actually achieve. We're going to take out all their missile production sites, all their missiles, all their missile launchers, kill their archers, and get rid of the arrows. And we're going to kill and we have been, a lot of what the B-2s dropped are on their missile production capacity. We're going to also decimate their Navy and take away any ability to block the Strait of Hormuz.
I think there's 6 of their ships sitting at the bottom of the port right now.
Right. And we're going to kill a lot of the leadership. And that happened within the first minutes of this breaking out.
Do you think they killed some leadership that they didn't plan on killing? Because I had heard that people that they were thinking would be the backup to the supreme leader, dead too.
That's what I heard.
And the 3rd and 4th would dead too.
Yes. Well, the brand new Iranian Defense Minister was killed just 2 days after being on the job.
I don't want the job.
So it's very similar it's what Israel did to Hezbollah, for instance.
Yeah, but at what point, I mean, say we do decapitate everyone. I mean, how far down the roster do we have to get before the people can rise up and root all the snakes and weeds out of
Top 40 didn't do it, then how deep you got to go?
Well, and I saw chatter this morning about, we're arming up the Kurds and the Kurdish militia is going to be a help. And again, maybe it works out in the United States like Trump does. You like the first 12-day war? Well, it's over. The second 12-day war. Like he's going to do one of these big statements, pull out forces, all this other stuff, and go on our merry way. But you got to wonder what is next. And once you topple and break something like this, I don't think anybody is being honest. They say, I have a clear. Maybe they're confident enough and they're going to follow a plan, but nobody actually knows what the future is.
We don't have a good history there, except with Japan.
What happens if 2 years from now, if some of now Iran is claimed by Israel in that Greater Israel Project?
I don't think that's going to happen.
Okay.
I don't think that's. The Israelis have the means of doing that, number one, and I don't think they want.
I don't know if they'd have the support.
Right. That's not even Iran isn't even in the biblical mandate.
Well,
no, but they want some territory.
I'm just going to that little patch.
Yep.
Plus, also, like, you take it literally. You heard this at dinner the other night. I think the descendants of Abraham are already. It's not just Jewish folks. Right. It's like everybody in the region is kind of a descendant of Abraham.
Pretty much.
Like the Muslims,
brother of a brother.
Islam claims Abraham too. Yep. And there were a lot of children that Abram had, and
Johnny Appleseed.
And then also, it was quite something to hear Mike Huckabee. Well, the spiritual descendants of Abraham. I'm like, you mean Christians?
Yeah.
Because that's kind of a central Christian claim. Anyway.
Did you watch the whole thing with Huckabee?
I couldn't.
I clipped it out, and I ended it.
Both of them were annoying.
Thank you.
I think Huck was talking more about the lineage or the ancestry from Europe that migrated back to the Middle East, that they might be more European than actual Jewish.
Correct. But I think that's a bad way to do geopolitics anyhow. Just going to, Genesis and saying, okay, that's our geopolitics. I suppose I'm like a de facto Zionist in the sense of Israel declared independence. They won a bunch of wars. They have an operating government, and they can defend themselves. So what, we're just going to get rid of them? Like that? So I buy. They have a state. They won a state.
Yeah.
They shed blood to win that state. So like this idea of like the crazies that are like from the river to the sea.
Right.
No, and that's perhaps the problem here. You have the sort of extremists that are driving the car, and I think Trump has tried to play the middle against both sides, but it really does cut against a lot of the campaigning and a lot of just the general selling of America first and so many things. Trump has said he will never let Iran get a nuclear weapon.
Yeah, he said that a while, so
fair enough. And he did kill Soleimani in the first term, so fair enough. But.
See, I was wondering if that was going to tie into the intel in any way, that they actually got a whiff of some of the retaliation from that. I mean, honestly, I thought that even if that wasn't the case in the fog of war, that's probably what I would have leaned into a little bit. Like, look, we took out their head guy a while back. They've been gearing up, ramping up. We got some intel. Got to ride on these fools at their own barbecue,
Well, how about this? Let's hit a break. I kind of want to just get off this issue because, again, my basic point on this is we have no idea what's going to happen next. I mean, if I had to put money down, like $100 down, I actually think militarily, like these objectives they lay out, will be met pretty quickly.
Yeah, that'll happen.
But the long-term reality of, and
are we going to be going to Iran in 10 years for a vacation, Joey?
I would love that, actually.
Me too, but do you think that's even in the cards?
Probably not. Right. Now, we can pray, we can hope that this does create a lasting peace, that this creates a lasting peace in not just Iran, but the entire region in a lot of ways. And I will continue to hope and pray for that. But then also my practical mind is like, okay, how do you actually see that through? I'll believe in you, God, but like the history, especially recent history, shows these sort of things are very, very, very messy.
Yeah, this peace through war thing is a new concept to me.
Right. Anyway, we've got to hit this break. And when we come back, we have a Supreme Court justice during oral arguments. I'll set it up more after the break. Saying the founding fathers, in particular, this is Justice Neil Gorsuch, the founding fathers were all drunks.
Yes.
I've read about that.
To what degree? What makes a drunkard, Joey?
A habitual drunkard.
Well, that's only a pint.
8 shots a day.
Well, what was the gravity of those, the whiskey back then? So we'll get into that.
I can't wait. I caught this last night. It was just great.
Pretty great stuff by Gorsuch, actually. Like him knowing the history and going deep into this. Like really, really. And it has a legal point to it.
Yes.
I'm bringing it up. But first, this part of the program brought to you by Bo Goodson, the Goodson Group, and there at the Goodson Group. Bo and his team are ready to help you whether you're looking to buy or sell property here in the River Region real estate market. Bo and his team have been helping buyers and sellers in Montgomery and the surrounding areas for about half a century now. And at the Goodson Group, not only can they help you with buying and selling property, but they have management services available should you want to rent out your home. Great idea in this market. So you go check them out today if you, again, want to buy, sell, want to create that rental investment. The Goodson Group is ready to help you out. You can always learn more at thegoodsongroup.com or give them a call at 551-0225. That's 551-0225. Bo Goodson and the Goodson Group.
He may not know whether he's coming or going, but whether you're going to work or coming home, Greg Budell is there. Mornings, 6 till 9, and afternoons, 3 till 6. Only on News Talk 93.1 FM, WACV.
We get a lot of questions about what all we handle at Hannah and Eddie Realty Group. I'm Hannah Grantham.
And I'm Eddie Bader, and we will handle all of your real estate needs.
We handle all your buying and selling needs, from your first home, next home, land, investment property, and even commercial properties.
We do it all and have the experience that shows you what makes us different.
So when you think real estate, think Hannah and Eddie Realty Group. Look us up on Facebook or give us a call at 334-368-6358. And let us show you who you have on your sign matters.
If you're on a budget and trying to feed your family inexpensively, Pizza Perfect has the deal for you. In March, get a free 2-topping medium pizza with the purchase of any large pizza. Pizza Perfect's buffet includes pizza as well as spaghetti, breadsticks, salad, dessert, and drink, only $13. Buffet is available Monday through Saturday for lunch and for dinner on Tuesday, Friday, and Saturday. Available for pickup and delivery as well. 2-topping medium pizza free with the purchase of any large pizza in March at Pizza Perfect, Coliseum Boulevard, Eastbrook.
Attention Montgomery business owners. Want more customers without guessing how to reach them? Blue Water Broadcasting isn't just radio. We're your full-service digital marketing partner. From smart social media campaigns to targeted display ads to SEO that actually works. We help your business get seen by the right people at the right time. Whether you're a local shop, a growing brand, or an established company, our team can build a custom strategy that drives real results on air and online. Ready to grow? Call Blue Water Broadcasting today or visit bluewaterbroadcasting.com. Blue Water Broadcasting. Broadcasting. Your audience is waiting.
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368, an equal housing lender.
Weather, a service of H&H Carpets, where right now, get a load of this, listen close, you get a house full of carpet for $19.95 installed. Unbelievable. They're located at 6450 Atlanta Highway, just across from Walmart.
Rich Thomas weather.
Very comfortable temperatures continue on this first week of March. I think we will be in the upper 70s today, probably lower 80s on Wednesday. Good bit of sunshine both days. Mostly clear tonight. Overnight low temperature down to about 54. The warm temperatures will continue. We'll be in the low to mid 80s Thursday through Saturday, with the risk of some scattered showers, maybe some thunderstorms around from time to time. And that risk will continue on Sunday as well. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
Feeling the pressure of high credit card rates? ASC Credit Union has you covered with a low 1.99% APR on balance transfers. Move your balances in March or April and lock in that 1.99% rate through your October statement. Visit ASC Credit Union today. Federally insured by NCUA. Terms and conditions apply.
The premier place the River Region turns to for news, weather, traffic, and opinion. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. I'm your host, Joey Clark. Eddie Bader in the center of your screen. Byron Sheehy to your right.
Love this.
Yeah, it's one of Eddie's favorites that I turned in. Actually, it's not bad, man.
A lot better than that Celine Dion crap you're trying to push.
The King Cruben. King Cruben, I think it's the name of the band. It's got to feel like that.
Yeah, I just put in lo-fi. I dig the lo-fi, man, just to, especially in the morning, like just to relax a little bit.
Great driving
Can't do it for, it's great driving music too, but doesn't work for the workout.
No.
You need a little
Into
something more
Metallica.
driving. Yeah, exactly. For the workout. Or you ever listen to Donkin?
Dockin?
Donkin?
I know Dockin. They be sucking.
No, they have a few like instrumental ones that I'm like, okay, that's that.
No, they had a couple great 80s,
Right.
obviously in the 80s songs, but I wouldn't seen them, I think in Vegas or something in the 90s. It's like, these guys suck. Oh my God.
See, on instrumental stuff, I'll get in like some John 5 and some Satriani. And
Joe Satriani's bomb, yeah.
But there was a case that most justices on the United States Supreme Court appeared quite skeptical of. If it's a case about a federal law banning gun possession for illegal drug users and addicts during Supreme Court arguments yesterday on Monday. Intermingling gun rights and the war on drugs, the case has put the ACLU and the National Rifle Association on the same side, while President Donald Trump's Justice Department is defending the existing law. Case comes out of Texas, where a federal grand jury indicted Ali Daniel Hamani, a marijuana user, in February 2023 for violating a law prohibiting firearm possession by a user of illegal drugs or a controlled substance. He sued to dismiss the indictment. The federal prohibition is part of the 1968 Gun Control Act. Sarah Harris, the principal deputy solicitor general, on Monday argued that the law doesn't infringe on the Second Amendment, in part because of the longstanding, quote-unquote, habitual drunkard laws that have been around since the colonial era. Those laws impose certain restrictions on individuals with addiction that could pose a danger to themselves or others. Right. And this brought in Justice Neil Gorsuch. So let's actually, instead of me reading it, listen in to the arguments here.
Second. On that, I'm sorry to interrupt, but I just want to, before we lose track of what Justice Sotomayor is talking about, one can ask whether the habitual drunkard statutes are sufficiently, the how and why is sufficiently analogous.
This is Justice Gorsuch speaking.
One could also ask, though, more basically, whether this defendant would qualify as a habitual user. And I want to explore that before we lose track of it. Habitual drunkard, the American Temperance Society back in the day said 8 shots of whiskey a day only made you an occasional drunkard. You have to remember the founding era if you want to invoke the founding era. To be a habitual drunkard, you had to do double that.
Yep.
Okay? John Adams took a tankard of hard cider with his breakfast every day.
Yeah.
James Madison reportedly drank a pint of whiskey every day.
Nice.
Thomas Jefferson said he wasn't much of a user of alcohol. He only had 3 or 4 glasses of wine a night. Okay? Are they all habitual drunkards who would be properly disarmed for life under your theory?
No, and again, I think this is something...
Okay, if they're not, then what do we know about Mr. Hamani? We know he uses marijuana a few times, about every other day. That's all we have in the record, right?
That's all we have, and I'm
Okay,
not troubled by it.
so we don't even know the quantity of how much he uses
Or the
every
grade.
other day.
Yeah.
What if he took one gummy bear with a medical prescription
gummy
in
bear?
Colorado? Well, you may not even need a medical prescription. You don't even need it anymore. But let's say he had one to help him sleep every other day. Disarm him for life?
Well, no, it's not disarmed for life, and here's what's going
Potentially.
on. Well,
Would that be enough under your theory? One gummy bear every other night with a medical prescription.
so I think you'd have a potential Rahafe problem, but I will accept the hypothetical. So let me just deal with
I think
what's
the
an
answer is
unlawful
yes, under the government's theory.
Yes, under our theory, but let me give you an explanation of 2 parts of this that are important. One, you asked about how do you tell who's an unlawful user? How is it more defined than a habitual drunkard? I think it's a lot clearer.
Is it? I mean,
yes.
the government has not been able to define what a user is. I mean, it is said at various points that it's someone who's used any illegal drug in the past year, right?
Yeah, and just before this, we keep going with this because it is a little fascinating. The indictment against Hamani, against Ali, said he knowingly used illegal drugs while possessing a Glock 19 9mm pistol. The prosecution didn't allege Hamani was intoxicated or using drugs at the time he possessed the firearm. Rather, prosecutors based their case on him being a regular drug user, which is a little... I see why Gorsuch is like, what does that mean?
Yeah.
Exactly.
I'm glad somebody called him on the carpet about this.
So let's keep going a little bit more with this.
It said, ATF now wants to say a pattern, and you argue for habitual, which of course conflates the second half of the statute, which talks about an addict, which is different than a user, and an addict is an habitual user, it's defined as. So you're kind of conflating the 2 parts of the statute there. So tell me how it's so clear.
Okay, a couple of things to help you with this. One, I'm going to set aside the forfeiture issue, but I would like to return to that later. Just deal with the substance. With respect to who is an unlawful user, the Court of Appeals are uniform in adopting the same view as us, which is it is a habitual user in context.
But the ATF disagrees.
No, they absolutely do not.
They say a pattern.
Let me be very clear about the distinction here. There is a distinction between what is the statutory definition of an unlawful user, and everyone has always agreed, including ATF, that that means habitual or frequent. And on the other hand, how do you prove that? What type of evidence is sufficient to show beyond a reasonable doubt, or for purposes of background checks for ATF purposes, that you in fact do that? So
Okay,
that
so that
is a
circles
discrepancy.
us back down to, you would qualify as an habitual user, one gummy bear every other night.
Absolutely, and here's why. The check on that sort of situation is twofold. One is you have to know that you are using an unlawful drug. So if you're using your gummy and you don't know that it has THC in it or there's something else, you could have a nice Rahafe defense. But setting that aside in terms of other guardrails, illegal drugs are different from habitual drunkards in an important way. First of all, there is robust post-ratification history that I think shows that there is a tight connection between someone who is a habitual
So if it all
drunkard.
boils down to illegality, what do we do with the fact that marijuana is sort of illegal and sort of isn't, and that the federal government itself is conflicted on this? It doesn't enforce it quite the same way it does with respect to drug laws with respect to other drugs.
So 2 points. One, it's not just illegality, but with respect to illegality, I don't think the government is of two minds. The government is considering rescheduling marijuana as Schedule 3 to facilitate potential medical applications, but the government is not saying that it is not illegal anymore simply because states are not following federal law. I think the fact that the Controlled Substances Act is involved, it brings this not just in terms of the category of illegality, but into the realm of how do you test the fit? How do you test if Congress is like prohibiting chewing gum or caffeine on the one hand, legal substances, versus substances that actually do have intoxicating, mind-altering effects?
Okay, but Ms. Harris, one of the difficult...
Anyway, you get a little taste of what the Supreme Court was up to. I think that's crazy. Just as a common sense basis, I think it's crazy that if a guy is taking a gummy, like I like that Gorsuch brought it down to that level.
The gummy bear.
Every other night.
Yeah.
Now the federal government claims to have cause to take your firearms away. That's insane.
But if I can be on Adderall, I can be on anything else under the sun. But
it's just insane.
But now, if I understand it, that's saying that's from if marijuana is illegal. However, in Colorado,
it is legal. The state
it is legal. So, and that's what I see the confusion of.
According to the lady, the state's just ignoring federal law. It's still illegal federally.
I get that, except by prosecuting this one person, you're saying we're ignoring the entire rest of the United States. We're going after this one person. No, you can't do that. No. Yeah, it's like everybody when you get pulled over, and we all have. You get pulled over, and you were doing 80. Well, people are passing you doing 85. You're like, why are you giving me a ticket for 80?
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, but was not a lot of the argument centered around the definition of habitual?
Yeah, to a degree, yes.
And didn't her argument, well, I kind of think it is, that's
it was, it was her opinion.
Yeah.
And she's injected her opinion a couple times in there.
I don't think I'd ever tell a Supreme Court judge, let me help you understand.
Yeah, I heard that
was a good. I'm sorry. I enjoyed that because I know that guy went, that's one on me,
well, no, and you have to say, even though like some of the folks I disagree with, like when you do listen into these oral arguments, you're like, okay, there's a lot of freaking brain power up on. Do not try to outsmart those people on the court.
No, and I like the fact that they do think of it from so many different points of view because honestly, I would think that what she was saying, I could see many justices just going, oh, yeah, agreeing with her 100%. The fact that they're challenging her, I really appreciate that.
How about like drinking a pint of whiskey a day? Now, I did have the thought of like, how strong was the whiskey back then?
I was strong enough to kill dysentery.
Yeah, I mean, and it varied too. There was no, depending on what bottle you grabbed.
And people just drank beer, wine, whiskey, because even back then, water was not reliably clean.
That's why you have to drink more beer.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so, I mean, people were drinking like crazy. Your wages were often with alcohol, mixed up with alcohol.
Yep.
And there are letters, in particular John Adams, even though he drank his hard cider every morning, Adams and many of the very Puritan founders were complaining about the amount of like bars during the Revolutionary period.
If I'm not
like crazy,
how many establishments there were?
Like more than the population of like Boston could actually handle. Like it was,
I got you.
It was ridiculous how many, and like the amount of partying and like a lot of crazy behavior you think was like a 20th century phenomenon.
I imagine.
If I'm not mistaken, Washington's opponents during the campaign had a problem with him having a still because he'd load up barrels and like haul people around on the buggy to go vote. Not even making that up.
Yeah, I think you are thinking that right.
We have a name for that nowadays. What is when you go bar to bar and they have a trolley that takes you around?
Bar hopping?
No, we had it here in Montgomery. It was a whole thing for a while.
Oh, no, but like, say you're wanting to pass an ordinance in Auburn, Alabama, and you just throw a big old kegger. And you get the boys a little liquored up and...
Send them right down to the voting booth.
By the way, we got this bus. Y'all want to go vote?
Right down to the vote
Well, Tammany did that, man. I mean, he'd give them a pint for a vote.
Yeah. Anyway, we got to hit this break. Before we do this part of the program, brought to you by Alabama Home Mortgage. Ain't they great over there?
I talked to Madeline yesterday. Joey,
Yeah?
I got some surprising news. I probably should say it off air, but I'm going to say it on air.
All right.
You, me, and Madeline are probably going to end up doing a duet, but plus one.
A duet?
Plus one. I've talked to her about it. We're warming it up. I need you to get your voice ready because you're going to be the big finish.
The big finish?
You're going to be the big finish.
I don't know about that.
She's pretty excited. I'm pretty excited.
Yeah, but whenever somebody wants me to do the big finish, I get nervous.
No pressure.
That's why we're going to practice.
But they're at Alabama Home Mortgage. Even if you do get nervous on the big finish of, say, buying a home,
right,
finalizing a big
or
purchase
some
like
type of
that.
just making the call. People are too nervous to make the call.
Right. Or you're just procrastinating. You kind of have dreams or thoughts about buying a home, but you never really get there. You maybe like peruse Zillow for a second. You're like, oh, look at that place. That place is kind of cool. And then you never do anything about it. Or you're like, well, how much equity have we built up? And, we could have rearranged our finances. We're not really even in that much trouble right now with debt or anything, but it could be nice to, how much, but then you don't do anything about it. What you need to do is actually call up Alabama Home Mortgage, start that conversation. Homeowners are sitting on record levels of home equity. And also, the biggest mistake you can make is speculating about whether or not you can buy. Don't let myths keep you on the sidelines. And that is something people find excuses. Just not true. Many buyers need far less saved than they think, for instance. And don't fall victim to flashy mailers, spam calls, or 1-800 lenders. Get in touch with Alabama Home Mortgage Direct, great local company, trusted company that's been helping people for a long time here in the River region. But, of course, they can not only help you in Alabama, but they also serve Georgia, Florida, and Tennessee. So y'all check them out today. You can start that conversation at 567-4223. That's 567-4223. Or you can always apply online at myalabamahomemortgage.com. There is a difference in mortgage companies. Let Kim Williams and Madeline Cannon prove that to you today. NMLS number 1586368, an equal housing lender.
Want to carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
What's your biggest investment? More than likely, it's your home. So treat it that way when you hire a painting contractor. With PBS Painting, there are no gimmicks, no $99 specials. Just quality painting and someone who treats your home with the same respect that you do. At PBS Painting, we have been painting for years and look forward to many more years to come. With PBS Painting, the job gets prepped properly, whether it's cleaning, scraping, or priming. We always use quality products, which is a must for a quality paint job. So if you're looking for a painter that doesn't need upfront money and is on the job at all times, then please give me a call. Scott Bowers and PBS Painting, 294-5122. That's PBS Painting, 294-5122. Look at some of our work on Facebook at PBS Painting Montgomery.
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368, an equal housing lender.
Trustworthy, accurate, immediate. Carrying your voice across the River region. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. Now, Coach Tuberville weighed in on this whole Iran war thing.
Coach allow.
And Coach, it was on with, is that Ed Henry? It was on, I'm losing track of all these different, is it Newsmax or whatever? Yeah, the big take on Newsmax. Ooh. And Tuberville said the big wave hasn't come yet.
Is that it?
Is that the big wave?
It's on its way.
But the big wave hasn't even come yet, said Tuberville. So I would suggest the people of Iran buckle your seatbelts because here we come.
What do you think the big wave's going to be, Joey? We can't beat it up too much or we're going to be rebuilding it all.
He continued saying there's no doubt more bombing is coming unless they come to some kind of agreement. But he's, Trump, not going to start something he's not going to finish. And this has been coming for a long time. He warned them that it was coming. The president's been saying all along that, when we do get into a fight with Iran, it's going to be a lot longer than a 1 or 2 day fight.
Yep.
And, of course, Tuberville expressed his condolences for the 6 U.S. service members killed recently. It's now the number up to 6, maybe.
Did you see the video of the female, I think she's an aviator, that was picked up when her plane went down, picked up by locals?
Oh, yeah, I did see that video.
Ladies.
Yeah, that was a lot better than I thought it was going to turn out when I realized what was happening there.
Well, do you hear what they said at the end when they found out she was American? One of them was like, put her back. I mean, they didn't, but that was kind of the sentiment.
Is that right?
Man. So Tuberville went on to say the Democrats are going to complain about it. They have nothing else. They have no plan themselves, so they're just going to complain about anything President Trump does, which
kind of hard to argue with that, Joe.
Hard to argue with Coach there. He goes on and also says this is a war. This is war. It's going to get worse before it gets better, but I'm telling you who's going to win this war. United States of America is going to win this war. Our military people know what they're getting into. They're well-trained and well-equipped. Unfortunately, this just happens. And again, we lost 3 airplanes yesterday. Luckily, we didn't lose any lives. But again, this has just started. We're in, 60 hours of this war? And we're going to go many, many more days.
Can we define what a win is? That's what I want.
I thought the win was the
destroy their missiles, destroy their Navy, make sure they can't build a nuke.
Yeah, those first 40 folks they killed, I thought that was a big part.
So we don't want to do away with that whole Islamic State. We just want to get rid of the top.
And hoping, well, they're, as well as I do, their thoughts are someone will rise up from that, but that creates power vacuums. I think it's another hornet's nest we got into, but I won't say that we shouldn't have done this a long time ago, but when you're in the middle of it, I'm not a big fan of it.
How long do you think before we put boots on the ground?
I don't think we will.
You don't?
Mm-mm. I don't think we will.
You think Israel
I think
does?
someone will, but
you
it won't
think
be us.
Israel does?
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me with them, but I don't. If it goes that long, I don't see the U.S. putting boots on the ground until things are over and where's the cleanup. I think we'll make other people do it.
Well, we got to hit our top of the hour break. So first, this part of the program brought to you by Josh and Leslie Ryder again. They're at Dillon Rings.
Yeah.
And not only is Aquamarine the birthstone for you March babies as we enter into the lovely month of March, but they can do all sorts of stuff for you there at Dillon Rings. Great inventory, great selection from high-end jewelry items to everyday stuff that won't break the bank and it'll break your heart if you lose it and want to have a fun night out on the town and still look great. Or maybe it's like you're looking for a starter jewelry for like a charm bracelet, these sort of things for like your daughter or your niece.
That's a really good idea.
It could be you want to clean up that jewelry you always wear, and it looks like you wear it all the time.
Mm-hmm.
You've been wearing it all the time for years. What if it could shine and shimmer like it's brand new again? They can do that for you there at Dillon Rings. And, of course, repair work, and don't forget the custom design work. Second to none. The man, Josh Ryder, is a true artist over there. So you could have had a dream about it, or it could be you want to combine 2 pieces of jewelry you inherited. He's done many, many amazing jobs with that. So y'all check out Dillon Rings today. Just get by 119 Brown Springs Road here in Montgomery, just off of Atlanta Highway. And be sure to tell them that Joey, Eddie, and Byron, the fellas on the radio, sent you.
Broadcasting from the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV Cusada, News Talk 93.1 FM. When it's Chevy, it's Riverside.
With SRN News, I'm Bob Agnew in Washington. President Trump believes the war against Iran is worth the temporary spike in oil and gas prices. The president acknowledged that fuel is going to rise as the U.S. remains engaged in the ongoing Middle East conflict, but he said prices will come down. AAA is reporting the average price for a gallon of gasoline jumped 11 pennies overnight. A federal court has rejected the administration's attempt to slow the tariff refund process. The U.S. Court of Appeals for the Federal Circuit started the next phase in the tariff refund process by sending it to a lower court to sort it out. In a court filing, the Trump Justice Department had urged the Federal Circuit to proceed cautiously and hold off for 90 days. On Wall Street, it's been a big losing session so far. The Dow is off by 327 points this hour. This is SRN News.
So my friends over at Pure Talk have been sending me customer feedback from consumeraffairs.com, where thousands of people rate and review the top wireless providers. Here, for instance, is a nice note from James in Raleigh, North Carolina, who writes, quote, "After hearing Mike Rowe's ad, we made the switch to Pure Talk, and we couldn't be happier. We went from spending $1,200 a year with T-Mobile to $420 with Pure Talk. Thanks, Mike. Switch today!" Exclamation point. Pure Talk is saving James $820 a year. And because he literally wrote the words "switch today" in capital letters with an exclamation point, I'm going to go ahead and dedicate this commercial to him. So folks, take it from James in Raleigh, North Carolina. Pure Talk can give you unlimited talk, text, and plenty of data for just $25 a month on the same 5G service the big guys are overcharging you for. Just dial pound 250, say Mike Rowe. You'll also save 50% off your first month. That's pound 250 to save an additional 50%. Thanks, James.
The Rich Thomas Weather Network, brought to you by Montgomery Paint and Body. From little fender benders to total body repair, MPB will fix it good as new, maybe better. For 4 decades, the Turner family has been getting you back on the road. Call 279-7325.
Rich Thomas Weather.
Very comfortable temperatures continue on this first week of March. I think we will be in the upper 70s today, probably lower 80s on Wednesday. Good bit of sunshine both days. Mostly clear tonight. Overnight low temperature down to about 54. The warm temperatures will continue. We'll be in the low to mid 80s Thursday through Saturday, with the risk of some scattered showers, maybe some thunderstorms around from time to time. And that risk will continue on Sunday as well. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
1819 News.
Alabama Republicans are planning to march across the Edmund Pettus Bridge in Selma in observance of Bloody Sunday. That was the original civil rights march in 1965, where 600 marchers were met with tear gas and violence by mounted state troopers. The Republican minority GOP chairman, George Williams, says that the original idea of holding that march was not exclusive to the Democratic Party only, but also Republicans, and he says it's time for Republicans to observe and remember that fact. Williams says that the story that's being told right now does not align with the facts surrounding the Democratic Party and that march across Edmund Pettus Bridge. Williams says that Martin Luther King Jr. came to Selma to initiate that march against the Dixiecrats, which were the Democrats of that time who were still seeking to sponsor segregation. The date for the Republican-led march has not yet been set, but it will take place before the May 19th primary elections. I'll be back with more Alabama stories after this.
Did you know that 70% of people experience a potentially traumatic event in their lifetime, and that 6 out of every 100 adults face PTSD every day? Help us bring hope to these survivors by signing up for your Alabama Distinctive PTSD Awareness license plate today. The great thing is you can sign up no matter when your current plate renews, and the first year is complimentary. All you need is your VIN number on hand. Drive awareness, drive hope, and customize your plate today at atease.org.
The U.S. Supreme Court has rejected a challenge to a lower court ruling regarding an Alabama death row inmate seeking a new trial. The 11th Circuit Court of Appeals determined that 63-year-old Michael Sockwell had his rights violated by the prosecutors in his first trial. Sockwell will now get a new trial after being on death row for 35 years. That makes Sockwell the longest-serving death row inmate in Alabama. Sockwell was convicted of killing a sheriff's deputy back in 1990. I'm Andrea Tice.
For more news affecting Alabamians, go to 1819news.com. And while you're there, subscribe to the daily newsletter.
This hour of News and Views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is number one in the number two business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
Behind every clean lobby, every polished boardroom, every safe, spotless workplace, there's Janie King Franchise Center, who takes pride in making it happen. These are your neighbors, people who live here, work here, and care about the businesses that shape our community. They show up, they follow through, and they make sure your facility is ready for the day, every day. That's why companies across the community trust Janie King as their local cleaning partner. Visit JannieKingCleans.com today.
Janie King, the king of clean.
This is the story of the one. As a procurement manager for a hospital system, she keeps every facility in her network stocked and ready. That's why she counts on Grainger to be her single source for thousands of products, from disinfectants to lighting, air filters, and more. And with fast, dependable delivery, Grainger helps her keep every facility stocked, safe, and running smoothly. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers. It's time for Montgomery's conversational radio show. It's news and views on News Talk 93.1 FM. To join the conversation, call 272-9228.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. We still have yet to get to the Bill and Hillary, a little bit of that testimony about Epstein, you know what I mean?
And her walking out or trying to walk out in the beginning. And
actually, I kind of see why she got mad.
Oh, good. I want you to explain that to me because I saw a clip and I'm sorry. I thought she got what she deserved, if not.
Now, there's one with Nancy Mace where she just got flustered and got very flustered when Lauren Boebert brought up Pizzagate.
Yes.
Right, that was just a crazy man who went to that parlor and stuff. It's like, no, that's what y'all try to define it as.
The Nancy Mace one is the one that got my attention with the whole, they're dead now, what can we do?
Yeah, but I think actually Lauren Boebert took some photos from inside the room and released them on her account, which is what, rightfully, I think Hillary and her team got pissed saying, this is supposed to be private. We know it's being recorded and on the record, and that will be released, but you shouldn't be taking. We'll play the clip.
I just don't get it. I'm sorry, I don't get it.
We'll play the clip.
All right.
But let's first go to TS. Hey, TS.
Hey, TS.
Joey,
How are you?
I am blessed and not stressed.
Nice.
But, okay. Thank you for your 2 hours of show today.
Mm-hmm.
I've listened to almost all of it off and on. I just have a question for you.
Mm-hmm.
Are you for or against this confrontation with Iran?
Well, I wouldn't have done it. But now that we're in it,
can't stop now.
I hope it works.
Well, I do too. Okay. That's all I needed. I needed confirmation on what was going on in your mind. And then this Hillary and Dillery or whatever his name is, under the office. Anyway, he's evil. Did you hear the clip on 1819 News that they had to take away the script because he was oogling?
Oh, we have that clip.
Googling.
Yeah.
Yeah, isn't that
ogling?
Oh, sick. All right, love you more. Thanks for your time.
Later,
Bye.
TS. 272-9228. And by the way, it's like pretty easy to say, are you for this or against it? And it's like this is one of those decisions where who knows actually unless you're sitting in that chair. Seriously.
Oh, yeah.
And I think Americans like to play this game where we have all the say in the world, and you all have heard me rant and rave about, like, no, you don't.
See, that's the problem.
If you really want to be in charge, run for office.
A lot of Americans think that.
Yeah. Or work your way up through the career structure. Like, you really want to be running a war, go become a general.
Yeah, there you go.
Right. So my inclination is, like, this was not necessary. You could see the buildup. In fact, I think the buildup allowed Israel to sort it's forced everybody's hand.
That's where I'm worried about. That's kind of my thought.
But
we're in it?
We're in it. And we'll see.
Yeah.
Now, to the other point TS made. Here is Bill, and I believe he's the internet's saying he's staring at a photo of him in the hot tub with the girls and stuff with Jeffrey. Oh, Bill Clinton's getting
How many years ago was that? You know, Joey.
Like, oh man, look at that young whippersnapper right there.
Right. whenever you see a young photo of yourself, you automatically go to that place in time.
I remember the 60s. But here is...
You probably don't remember too much of the 60s.
No, my 60s.
Exactly.
But yeah, here's that moment that you can tell his lawyers are quite annoyed. In fact, they try to take it away from him.
Yeah.
Like it's, taking a toy away from a toddler. Let's just watch real quick.
That was a sexy dude right there. Is he asking the girl's name? He's pointing her out.
Okay.
Mr. President, we have about 5 minutes remaining in the majority's first hour, so I just want to ask you some questions related to the crimes committed by Mr. Epstein and Miss Maxwell.
Dude.
Yeah, he either had a moment he shouldn't have had in public, or I took it as he saw something that they didn't see, like he knew something from that.
Right.
Like,
Yeah, from that picture.
Like they're going down the wrong trail.
Yeah.
And part of his testimony was like, well, I don't think you should have called Hillary. She had nothing to do with it. But I should be here. I flew on the plane.
But part of
he kind of was like, I should answer questions. And he did. To
When I don't know if it
a lot
was
of I didn't recall, but he did.
Nancy Mace or who was giving him a hard time about the younger women.
Yes.
And he's like, I'm not into younger women. It's like, would you call intern Jones?
That's one of my main takeaways
got
from
me.
watching a few of these clips. Is do not get on the wrong side. I don't want to be cross-examined by Nancy Mace.
No, thank you. I mean, he made her admit, like, well, yes, she's a younger woman. Well, so are these people on this island.
So here's one of the moments where Hillary gets like real pissed off.
Yeah.
Because Hillary went first, and then Bill went on the next day. So here's Hillary reacting to the fact that somebody leaked a photo of her during the deposition, right as they started. Let's listen.
Information. Okay. I went to the fundraiser to support my friend Nia Lowy. All right.
Excuse me, can I interrupt?
I have
There
another.
are photos that are being released of the secretary as she is testifying from inside this room. Can you please advise me as to whether or not that's permissible and consistent with the rules, particularly given that we have asked for a public hearing? If there are photos that are being released of the secretary as she is testifying, can you please explain how that
I'm
can
done
occur?
with this. If you guys are doing that, I am done. You can hold me in contempt from now until the cows come home. This is just typical behavior.
You will go off the record.
Oh, for heaven's
So I would like
sake.
to understand how that's permissible.
Before the hearing was. It doesn't matter. We all were abiding by the same rules.
I will
Are
take
we?
that down.
Are we though?
Yeah, well.
I would like to take a
It's
break
funny
at
how
this
the guilty
moment.
I'd
people
like
get
to-
a
I'm
little
done
bit more.
for now.
They deserve a little bit more than everybody else. Yeah. Sit down, you old bat. Right, how far is she going to walk anyway? Remember, she couldn't even walk to the car. 2 weeks ago? They had to kind of shuffle her back into the car again.
Well, she has good days and bad days.
Well, she can waddle with the best.
Yeah, she can.
But here's something with a little more substance to it. Though you can hear it's Lauren Boebert, and you heard Boebert to me go, "Oh yeah, that was me. I'll take it down."
Okay, but I don't understand. The world knows you're testifying. They know you're testifying inside this building.
Right.
They're not. Later on, they are going to be able to hear it. But right now, they're just saying a picture. What's the difference between that and one of the stupid court people drawing the picture?
She doesn't want to be there in the first place.
Was the smirk on her face? Was I the only person who saw that whenever
Yes.
she realized what was happening?
Yeah.
She was like, "Oh, I'm about to wiggle out of
Yeah.
this."
Yeah. Of course. Anyway, here's a little more. This is Nancy Mace again, cross-examining Hillary Clinton. And Hillary gets a bit animated here.
At all.
And
what
then
she
how do
was
you know
doing.
Howard Lutnick?
I know Howard Lutnick because when I was senator on 9/11, the firm he headed, Cantor Fitzgerald, suffered the greatest loss of life. As I recall, something like 650 of his employees were murdered by terrorists that day. Howard Lutnick missed being a victim because he was delayed dropping his child off to kindergarten. You asked the question. I'm going to answer your question.
Now you're gonna yell
This
at
was
me?
what I spent
You're
my
going to yell at me.
time doing.
I'm a survivor trying to look out for other survivors, trying to
and
get to the
I
bottom
was
of it.
taking care
You
of
waited
the
6
people
months
who
to
lost
get here today.
3,000
6 months,
lives
and now you're being
at World
defiant
Trade
and
Center.
indignant today.
You asked me
I have
about
met
Howard
with Epstein
Lutnick.
survivors. I'm a survivor myself. You have emails. You've denied that Jeffrey Epstein, that you tried to get Jeffrey Epstein to give money to you.
I did
but
not.
Howard Lutnick was
If
used
you
to
have an
get
email
money.
with me asking Jeffrey
I
Epstein
have
for
an
money,
email from Howard Lutnick sending it to Jeffrey Epstein and his people to
I
raise
don't-
money for
I don't
you
know
for
about-
an event, an intimate event for you at his offices
Well,
at Cantor Fitzgerald. You're
look,
going to sit
if
here
you-
today
if you would let me finish.
obfuscate and say to this committee, you didn't try to get money from Jeffrey
I
Epstein
didn't.
when
I
there was
didn't.
an intimate event in an email that Howard Lutnick emailed to Epstein's people and Epstein to get him to come to your intimate event at Cantor Fitzgerald, a very small event. And so I'm not going to public. You want to yell at me, that's fine, but I'll yell right back.
Well,
okay? I am looking out for
it's
survivors.
very-
I'm doing
look-
the job that you would not do and refuse to do as Secretary of State. Thank you, and I yield back to
No,
Congresswoman.
I'm going to finish answering the question, which I have a right to do. I am very sympathetic to your personal situation. I have read about it. I have seen you testify or speak on the floor about it. And I very much sympathize with not only what you went through, but appreciate your effort to stand up for survivors. I was a senator representing the people who were murdered on 9/11. Nobody lost more people than Howard Lutnick. You can say whatever you want. You can call him and have him appear before the committee. But I knew him as the man who lost the employees that he knew intimately, including his brother.
And he was a
So
double
I
threat between
work.
you and
Let
Jeffrey
her finish
Epstein
her
raising
answer,
money for
please.
you.
Let her finish her answer.
You know what? If you don't want to hear what emotionally affected me, that's fine. But that's why I know Howard Lutnick. I went to the memorial service every 9/11 after the formal service was held.
I see what you're
with
doing here,
all-
and you're
with
obfuscating
all
from
of
the
his
questions. He was
people, the
go-between
families.
between you and Jeffrey Epstein raising money for your
Well,
campaign.
you know, Howard Lutnick and I did work
Thank you. I will
together
now yield
because
to
we had a lot of
Congresswoman Leno.
victims
Thank you.
to take care of, and we worked together to rebuild downtown Manhattan. That is how I know Howard Lutnick.
I don't know if I buy that the First Lady to President Bill Clinton didn't know Lutnick from Cantor Fitzgerald when they were in the throes of raising money or trying to across every Wall Street firm, you know, in Manhattan. So for her to frame everything around 9/11, I find that a little disingenuous.
Yeah. Play the sympathy.
I mean, if he was the member of a 12-man, you know, startup investment house, I might go buy it. But Cantor Fitzgerald 650 in the World Trade Center, I bet that guy was on a calling list.
Yeah.
I bet he made a fundraiser back in 96 or 97 or
No
98.
doubt. No doubt.
I'm tired of these people, man.
There was one moment with Bill where they're like, and Jeffrey Epstein contributed to this campaign. Like when we were leaving the White House, what was that? I don't even remember. The Senate campaign for your wife. Oh. He goes, oh, I didn't know that.
I forgot about that.
No, I believe that he didn't know that, and he found that. And he goes, oh, I didn't know that.
We're all learning something today.
Who was the young man that they asked about? Mark Middleton, is that his name? The staffer who, you know, suffered issues and committed suicide by shooting himself in the head and
back?
chest from Arkansas, and asked if he ever got Epstein into the White House. He's like, well, I don't know if Mark had the authority to do that. And come to find out he did. He's like, well, he might have just waved him through. Like, whose position at the White House is just waving
Yeah, I can
people
just
through?
wave somebody. I've got that kind of pull in here.
Yeah.
Joey, just come on. Don't.
Now here's Bill, of all things, throwing a bone to Donald Trump.
Yeah.
I hate this, but because I don't believe I should inject anything. But I do not want to leave the impression, but since there was no follow-up question, the president never, this was 20-something years ago, never said anything to me to make me think he was involved in anything improper with regard to Epstein either. He just didn't. That's the truth. As I said earlier, the only conversation I had with President Trump about this was in the early 2000s. And I have no information that he did anything wrong. I just want it all out there. I want everybody to get it all out there and let everybody see where we are.
If I woke up last night and heard about this, I might guess that he was trying to do whatever he could to get the current president's DOJ not to investigate his administration a little bit further. So I might try to be nice to the guy who actually has that control right now.
Now, here is Bill saying that Jeffrey actually wasn't the one I was close to. It was, in fact, Ghislaine Maxwell.
I don't think that's a good answer, Bill.
Not really, but she was at daughter's wedding.
Yeah.
So it was close.
Well, here's the former president.
Did that President Clinton was her friend, not Epstein's friend. Is that accurate?
I'd say that it was accurate to say that I felt closer to her than him.
And for the record, why was that?
That's the guy I like.
Because I had seen her more, and because she was very good friends with Evelyn Rothschild and his wife Lynn, whom I knew and was in regular touch with.
Throw him under the bus.
She stated that
Throw him under the bus.
Yeah, but like with the internet these days, it goes, he said Rothschild.
This is true.
Right.
This is true.
It's all true. Everything I ever say
I didn't
about
think
this
about that,
is
Joey.
true. It's all true.
There's a good bit right now about the 4 conspiracy theories that are still left sort of unresolved and which ones you can kind of get your friends on.
It goes back to the Titanic.
Unfortunately, the Rothschilds is not one of those.
Yeah, don't get me going.
No, seriously.
Somebody missed that boat, Joey.
You can
Somebody
watch
very
the
important.
entire
Was it
hours
Mr.
of
Morgan?
this.
I forget who it was.
JP?
JP, yeah.
But you can watch hours and hours of like this sort of testimony, and what do you actually get out of it?
Nothing. I get a little bit of
There's an entertainment intrigue thing.
When I see Clinton get a little bit bothered, I get that.
Well, and it's also interesting to see how they do treat each other when it's not like public and live.
Yeah.
Where it is close. There were a lot of moments that were a little more respectful, them acting like adults, actually just talking about a thing.
Yeah.
Instead of the theater you get when it's in a
They
committee
know the
room.
camera's still on.
Oh yeah, don't get me wrong. It's not like a true private setting and how they might behave, but without the like intensity of it being live, you can see them just being a little more. Everybody's a little more laid back. There were definitely moments. Nancy Mace in particular is a bulldog. She gets in there, man. And Lauren Boebert also is no chill. Yeah, I don't know how good she is at actually getting sound answers out of people, but anyway.
No.
Like, and are we going to get anything out of this? Anything at all?
I would even think we're not even going to get a sense of closure. So
No. We're already on to the war with Iran.
So that's another thing.
Mm-hmm.
If this were to get the proper attention it deserved, to be a 5 administration cover up?
Yeah. So it's not going to get touched.
Right.
There's just too many folks who are playing this game of like, I think what Epstein became with the really depraved crimes, especially against children. I think there are a lot of folks that just kind of knew Jeffrey and they weren't involved with that stuff, but because that's what it represents in the public's mind, they're all like, well, I don't even want to
distance yourself.
That's why you get these weird definitive and I suspect the shame of it is that the folks that were involved in the very depraved stuff and crimes against children, I don't think we're getting to them.
No.
No.
At all.
Dude, and that's the other thing. When this is said and done, let's say this a week from now, these hearings are going away. Anybody else going to be arrested?
Has anybody been arrested stateside?
No. And that's what's so, to me, messed up. As much crap as we give England, he actually arrested his own brother.
It's not because he wanted to.
No, but he had to. They did the right thing, which honestly surprised me. I thought they would just say, hey, he's going to go live in Mexico from now on.
I'll agree that they did the expedient thing at that time. If they were going to do the right thing, it would have happened a long time
Oh, yeah,
ago.
of course. Of course.
You know, I mean, at this point, they're in disaster control.
Let's go to Papa B. Hey, Papa B, how you doing?
Hey. Yeah, Hillary, she left out something when she was talking about Lutnick, is that his name?
Yeah.
Yeah, she should have said first, after I had John F. Kennedy and Carolyn Bessette murdered, I knew Harold Lutnick, as senator because I had John F. Kennedy murdered so I could get his Senate seat. The blood trail that the Kennedys, that the Clintons have, is just vast. So, bringing up the murder of the folks in the tower, the two towers and everything, yeah, okay, fine. But good night. I mean, it just goes on and on. The list of people that have died by one mysterious circumstance or other because they've been associated with the Clintons.
Yep.
Good gracious alive. That's just incredible, actually. Well, no, actually it's not. It's typical, the way she would use some tragedy to cover her own garbage.
Yeah.
To your point, one of my biggest takeaways of watching both, I didn't watch the whole thing, just clips of Bill and Hillary, is just a fact everybody knows, and just it reaffirmed it for me. That Bill, even when you think he was doing dirty stuff and he's now 80 and his hands are shaking and all this stuff, he's still a likable, charming MFer. Excuse me, pardon me.
Much more than his wife.
And then you see Hillary and you're like,
Right. Like still a Karen.
Yeah, there's something like she doesn't have that it factor. You're just like, eh.
But that's what, to me, crazy about their whole relationship. They are complete opposites. I mean, as far as I can tell, they are complete opposites.
Minus the power hungry.
Relationship of convenience, dude.
Oh, yeah, there's no doubt.
There's nothing, no other. I mean, I'm sure they've had some sort of, romance in the past and everything, but really, Hillary throws up my husband as a cloak for her absolute garbage of a life. She uses it in order to, as real, as camouflage.
Yeah.
For who she really is, which is just she is a wickedy old witch.
She sure is.
Some of the things that, well, I mean, has she been involved in the satanic rituals and like we've heard? I think probably so.
It wouldn't surprise me. I hate to say that about anybody, but it really wouldn't surprise me.
I mean,
they should have just started saying a few like Our Fathers and Hail Marys.
See if you start smoking over there.
Okay, our next questioner is an exorcist. Let's see if you present.
Get some holy water and throw at her.
Just to see.
She starts levitating off the chair.
If she starts melting and screaming like, I'm melting, well, we'll know, But,
she starts mocking the priest Latin. Like you can't even speak the language well.
I'm out.
Right. There's some wicked things about this woman. Bill, you're right. He's affable. He's likable. Yeah. He's just, kind of an good old boy, back-slapping kind of guy. He's done some bad things, really bad things, and I'm sure of it. I don't doubt it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he's so affable.
Why?
No, because he's so charming. I think he's gotten away with all manner of stuff.
Oh yeah.
No doubt about that. Just no doubt about that at all. And the whole Pizzagate thing. No, she knows it's real. She knows it happened.
Yeah.
And then her lawyer does crimes in there too. It's all coming out. So I guess we'll find out more as we go. But the main thing about this whole setting, is it finally gets them on record. saying, I don't know. I don't know this and I don't know that. So, yeah, now whenever some things come out and then say, well, you said you didn't know, but you did, So that's what I think going on here. Not that we're ever going to get the truth out of them in any kind of setting like this. That's never going to happen. But the idea that we get them on record, maybe that is of some value somewhere down the road. All right, guys. Thanks a lot.
Appreciate it.
Thank you, Papa B.
Hey, what was the old connection to the Iran-Contra drug running in Arkansas? Where
you used to bring the coke in, and then they used the fundage from that sales of the coke to buy the weapons.
And Jeffrey was involved in that, was he not?
Would not be surprised. Jeffrey Epstein's
he was
company
the money
won
guy.
the lottery.
So
remember the reporter Khashoggi that got chopped to pieces by the Saudis? His father was working with Jeffrey Epstein on that. Yeah.
So this whole we didn't know him. And
but that was an interesting moment with Hillary, because if I'm just on the face of it, I could they're all in on it. I think it was Bill's guy, and they had this. Well, remember this classic photo where you see Epstein with Hillary and Bill?
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, it was a historical association fundraiser at the White House, and somebody had they did the quick photo, and so Comer, the head of the oversight committee, says, "Look, there's gonna be a lot of questions today, but it seems to me this guy was purposely going in front of powerful people, getting photos with them, even when he didn't know them. He liked to present in emails. I know this person." So he asked Hillary, and Hillary was like, "Oh, I so appreciate that question. Is this guy an asset?" Because I think even the members of Congress, I'm not surprised, are not getting answers from the CIA, are not getting answers from other foreign intel agencies. And the way the guy went about things, you didn't have to be buddy-buddy. He would pretend he was your buddy. It's just, he was always in front of every photo hall, every fundraiser.
Access and information.
Yes.
Access and information.
And you're like, man, who's this monster, this demon that was just intertwined in so many ways? And for instance, he is bosom buddies with the counsel for the Obama White House, who was supposed to be the next attorney general after Eric Holder. She now had to
suddenly retire?
Had to resign from Goldman Sachs. Oh no, what a punishment.
Well, let's go back way before then to, Barr and his family.
Yep. And so you're like, who is this demon just in everybody's circle?
Here's what, we'll never know this. Whoever he was an asset for, the very beginning, the genesis, I want to know why they plucked this guy out of all people. Because if he was a face and a facilitator and an agent for someone propped him up. I want to know why they chose him. What was it that was so demented, so psychologically twisted, or what
Could it be
dirt,
that easy?
What dirt did they have on him, that they were able to build this construct and know that he would be able to execute this? Because someone in a nexus like that has to be vetted and understood fully psychologically by the people that are going to place him there. There's too much at risk.
Well, we got to hit a break. Before we do, though, this part of the program brought to you by Pest Pro Services. You like cockroaches, gentlemen?
Not my favorite kind of roaches.
We're talking politicians.
Again, not my favorite kind of roaches.
Yeah. No, they're just licky. I don't like, especially at night, you're trying to go to bed.
Got one flying on you?
Mm-hmm. And you did I dream it? What is on here?
No, you didn't, Joey.
And it's getting that time of year.
Yeah.
Things are starting to heat up. The plants
Things
are
really
coming
warming
back
up.
alive.
Spring is a blooming.
The wasp are out already.
Yeah, I've seen a few of them.
Mm-hmm.
Seen a few of them.
Satan.
Yeah, man, I don't like wasps.
And the termites. Termites are going to start turning the ground up, man.
And so you need to get Pest Pro on top of it, especially get a termite inspection done, or just get a basic run over of your house.
It's the best thing to do.
And walk through and just get on their monthly subscription plan so you have that basic protection year round. And then when the time is right, add the mosquito protection. The time is right, by the way, now to do the termite
Just
inspection.
the time.
Do it right now. But they're just easy to work with, folks. Very reasonably cost. And, just get in touch. You can always learn more at ppsriverregion.com or search Pest Pro Services on the Book of Faces, or just call them direct, 265-9990. That's 265-9990. When you want to know, call a pro, Pest Pro Services, and be sure to tell Ashley and that great team that Joey, Eddie, and Byron, those fellas on the radio, sent you.
He may not know whether he's coming or going, but whether you're going to work or coming home, Greg Budell is there. Mornings, 6 till 9, and afternoons, 3 till 6. Only on News Talk 93.1 FM, WACV.
Hello, everyone. Robbie Pelt with Capital City Roofing. If you think about it, your home is your biggest investment in life. Your roof covers your home, so why jeopardize your biggest investment on a roofer you don't know anything about when you can deal with a reputable roofing company like Capital City Roofing? We have an A+ Better business rating and the best manufacturers and workmanship warranties available. We do all residential and commercial roofing applications that are certified through the manufacturer to ensure you get the best material and workmanship money can buy. We also have your project in our best interest before and after construction has been done. Don't hesitate to call us if you have any roofing issues or questions. We will match any of our competitors' price and give you the same great workmanship warranty. We also give free estimates. Give us a call today and let us show you the difference. 277-3311. That's 277-3311. Or you can check us out on the web at www.capitalcityroofing.com. Capital City Roofing. We capitalize the roofing industry.
Join Blue Water Broadcasting for Warm Hearts for Seniors. We're teaming up to collect badly needed supplies for the Central Alabama Aging Consortium, serving seniors and disabled adults across Autauga, Elmore, and Montgomery counties. Drop off items like cleaning supplies, blankets, fans, meal replacement shakes, stretch bands, and stress balls at Piggly Wiggly, 701 East Main Street in Prattville. Serving friends and neighbors in our community. Catch us live on location from March 2nd through March 13th. Let's show the River region what warm hearts can do. Visit us at bluewaterbroadcasting.com and help us make a difference today.
This hour of News and Views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is number one in the number two business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
2026 marks 60 years that hope has had a home in Alabama. At the Alabama Sheriff's Youth Ranches, children who've lost everything through no fault of their own have found something priceless. A safe place to live, a loving Christian family, and the chance to simply be kids again. Here, boys and girls grow up surrounded by care, guidance, and faith, learning right from wrong, learning responsibility, learning they are valued and that their lives have purpose. As the Alabama Sheriffs have believed for 6 decades, it's easier to build boys and girls than to repair men and women. These former ranchers are now teachers, parents, business owners, and leaders, living proof that love, structure, and faith can change a life forever. As the Alabama Sheriff's Youth Ranches celebrate 60 years of serving Alabama's children, you can help ensure the next child has the same chance. Learn how you can make a difference at alabamasheriffsyouthranches.org. 60 years of building lives, and we're just getting started.
Join us tomorrow from noon to 1 at Piggly Wiggly in Prattville for our Warm Hearts for Seniors supply drive. Drop off much needed supplies to benefit the Central Alabama Aging Consortium.
The Rich Thomas Weather Network is brought to you by Earnest Financial.
If you're tired of losing your money in the stock market, call David Earnest, 334-279-7431. Earnest Financial, LLC.
Rich Thomas Weather.
Well, hi, everybody. We have a remarkably warm first week of March underway. Even the nighttime temperatures are very reasonable, with the low temperature tonight down to the low to mid-50s with mostly clear skies. There will be a sun and cloud mix tomorrow, but a high temperature probably in the lower 80s for Wednesday, and then low to mid-80s on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. The risk of scattered showers, maybe some thunderstorms start to pop up from time to time on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and probably Sunday as well. We'll continue to monitor your weekend forecast from the Blue Water Weather Center. This is Rich Thomas.
Feeling the pressure of high credit card rates? ASE Credit Union has you covered with a low 1.99% APR on balance transfers. Move your balances in March or April and lock in that 1.99% rate through your October statement. Visit ASE Credit Union today. Federally insured by NCUA. Terms and conditions apply.
All the headlines the mainstream media won't touch. Your News Talk station. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. Now, apparently Rubio gave some more statements to the press before he went into interview. Sorry, got distracted by
Q-tip?
Yeah, on the TV. But before he went in to brief senators, Rubio apparently gave some comments to the press and said, well, they're going to unleash something.
I said this yesterday, and I repeat, what's about to, you're about to see, we're going to unleash Chang on these people in the next few hours and days.
What's Chang? Unleash Chang?
Isn't that from a video game? From, was it Final Fighter? One of the video games, I thought that was Chang. One of the last guys you fight. You guys...
like Mecha Hitler and Wolfenstein?
No, like literally that video game.
Mortal Kombat?
Thank you. I was thinking Chang was the final guy there at the end.
Get over here.
That was Krang or Kang or something.
Kang.
I get lost in the accent.
Anyway, that's what he said. We're going to unleash Chang.
I was thinking like that 80s song, Chang.
Anyway.
What's about to, you're about to see, we're going to unleash Chang on these people.
Oh, that was Chung.
Chung.
Yeah, Wang Chung.
Yeah. Everybody Wang Chung tonight.
Right. I hope that's not what we unleash.
I do.
Anyway, he's going to keep going.
The next few hours and days, you're going to really begin to perceive a change in the scope and in the intensity of these attacks as, frankly, the two most powerful air forces in the world take apart this terroristic regime and defang it and take away its ability to threaten its neighbors or hide behind a zone of immunity that allows them to develop their nuclear ambitions. This terroristic, radical, cleric-led regime cannot be ever allowed to have nuclear weapons. We saw what they were willing to do to their own people. They were willing to slaughter their own people in the streets. Imagine what they would do to us. Imagine what they would do to others. Under President Trump, that will never, ever happen.
So that's backing up, what kind of Tuberville was saying, and others, that the big stuff is coming. And that makes sense once you develop air superiority and you
got it right now.
No anti-aircraft presence. You fly free and just let it rip.
I did like the language, the zone of immunity, like the borders, like the sovereignty.
The zone of immunity. But here's also Rubio talking about the objectives remain clear.
With an update, I will obviously refer you to the Department of War. Suffice it to say that our objectives remain as they've been identified from the beginning and by the President laid out clearly yesterday. Iran can never have a nuclear weapon, and we will now not allow Iran to hide behind the immunity of a massive short-term ballistic missile inventory or the ability to make them or launch them. And so CENTCOM, in a joint operations, is carrying out a systematic destruction of their missile belt, destruction of their launchers, and destruction of their ability to make these, as well as the destruction of their Navy. From what I've been told by the Department of War, everything is on or ahead of schedule and proceeding on these objectives. We have every confidence in the world that these objectives will be achieved. With an update, I will...
So they're remaining confident, and we're, only a few days
Yeah.
But,
I mean, Iran's they're going to keep throwing missiles out till they're out.
Yeah. Well, and it seems like they're down to drones now in
Yeah.
certain ways.
Yeah.
Some of the missiles they dropped on Israel were multi-warhead that were pretty nasty, some of the footage.
I figure they've got a couple good ones left just for the final hoorah, but yeah, I think their ammo's going.
I mean, if this really is a global theater conflict, then they're going to have another stockpile emerge at some point here real soon. Now, whether they're written in Chinese or Russian, I don't know, but
it ain't coming by boat, I can tell you that.
Well,
that whole body of Asia is connected from what I understand.
Well, this is going to be playing out in real time.
Yeah.
And Rubio went on to say the bottom line is this: the president determined we're not going to get hit first. It's that simple, guys. We are not going to put American troops in harm's way.
You can't say both those things.
Thank you.
I was quoting him exactly.
Yeah, it's just...
It's not the same.
Saying also this weekend presented a unique opportunity to take joint action against this threat. We wanted this to have maximum success. This weekend, acting at this time gave us the highest probability of success in achieving our objective.
I buy that 100%.
So, I guess we wait and we watch.
What was the original name for Dr. Strangelove?
Oh, no.
Oh, shoot. Something about learn to love the bomb.
Oh, or how I learned to stop worrying and love the bomb?
Yeah.
Oh.
You know, and TS asked me earlier, like, what would I do? Well, based on my, like, Civilization video game playing, I'd nuke people. And it was always Gandhi, who was just an a-hole in, like, the early, like, the Stone Age. And I'm like, I remember you, Gandhi. And so I rushed for the bomb, and they go first.
We just did play SimCity a lot. And then someone told me, showed me you could bring in Godzilla. So I would build towns just to bring in Godzilla. It's amazing.
Yeah, no, when it's like not actual human beings, I'm like, I'm going full bore.
Yeah, that's the troubling part,
Yeah, who knows if you're actually in these positions, actually make these decisions. You can say what you want, but I think there is a certain weight to that responsibility, for better or for worse. Anyway, we'll be right back after this.
Want to carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
For too long, Alabama's statewide news companies have shamed us for our conservative Christian values. Alabama deserves a news company that cherishes our culture, a company that isn't bought and paid for by the powers that be. 1819 News is that company. Run by Alabamians for Alabamians, 1819 News celebrates what is good and beautiful about our state, while exposing those who work against our values in secret. Just go to 1819news.com to learn more. Subscribe to our newsletter. That's 1819news.com.
Hi, folks. This is Rick Clark with Clark Heating, Air Conditioning, and Plumbing. I'd like to take just a minute to talk to you about our experience with Blue Water Broadcasting. One of the hot topics in our staff meetings is spending advertising dollars. If your company or firm is anything like Clark Heating, Air Conditioning, and Plumbing, those dollars are limited, so you have to spend them wisely. That's why we choose Blue Water Broadcasting. Our marketing analysis has proven consistently that spending advertising dollars with Blue Water Broadcasting has contributed significantly to our bottom line. And for that, Clark Heating, Air Conditioning, and Plumbing is truly grateful. So, if you want to spend your advertising dollars wisely, choose Blue Water Broadcasting and see the difference.
Our advertisers are our biggest advocates. Call us to find out how radio can increase your bottom line. Blue Water Broadcasting. Local folks helping local business.
This hour of News and Views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is number one in the number two business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
We get Montgomery talking 24 hours a day. The River Region's most trusted voice. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back.
He was some Bride of Frankenstein stuff going on, the way she had that beehive. Going.
Yeah, she's an Iranian activist, expat, is very much in favor. She's been all over the media. Can't remember her name, but in favor of getting rid of this regime for a long, long, long time. And, that is the one thing you can hang your hat on. There are a lot of Persians who escaped that regime who are very, very happy with this decision. As, how Venezuelans were very happy with the decision about Maduro. And I'm sure, that recent private effort to invade Cuba, it was actually a Cuban mother in Florida who masterminded the speedboat mission to topple the regime. And the Cubans killed them for their trouble. It was like 4 or 5 people got killed. It was Cubans who are American who tried on their own to go over and take on the Cuban government. Got killed for their trouble, but it was a Cuban mom, so.
Just a single family, like mom, couple of folks. I missed that story. When was that?
It was developing over the last week or two, but yeah, it was like a private, they just decided to go over in a speedboat to try to take on Cuba. Because they're mad at him or something. I don't know. It's hard to know. Let's go to Duke. Hey, Duke, how are you?
I'm doing pretty good, Mr. Joe. How about you and the fellows, man?
Oh, we're all right.
Well, Eddie, did you have a hair and a biscuit today or a biscuit?
Eddie, Duke's trying to talk to you.
Did you find a biscuit in your hair this morning, or a biscuit wasn't in the hair? I had one in your biscuit this morning.
He's got a mouthful of biscuit
sorry?
right now.
Did you find a biscuit in your hair this morning?
Did I find a biscuit in my head this morning?
Hair.
No, I didn't. I got a Kim's Conoco biscuit this morning. It was delicious.
Hair in your biscuit. I meant
Hair in your biscuit.
Yeah. I had a delicious biscuit from Kim's this morning. No hair.
Oh, he didn't have the hair in it this morning. Okay.
No. I'm mad for something else.
Now, Joey. Joey, you so smart and everything.
Yeah, sure.
Now, Trump been hooping and hollering about all these war, he done stopped and everything. Why he not talking all some of this bad talk? Why he not sending in that toward Putin way? For some, I mean, help me out.
What do you mean?
Why Putin ain't getting on this bad talk?
Well, that
I'm
one's
gonna beat you down, I'm gonna whoop your ass and all this stuff.
that
Why
one's
he not
pretty
getting on
easy, Duke. Nuclear weapons.
Yeah, he's got the same size stick we got, so
They might fight back a little bit, in other words.
maybe, yeah. Maybe.
So all that bad talk about how they saw many wars. I said, hey, we helped about 12 now, ain't it? We saw 12 wars. But that one still
12?
stand out for some reason.
How is this really a war, though? It's really a conflict right now.
I know, but, they call it that.
It's an action.
It's an action right now.
It's a kinetic action. Right. No, and they are twisted in the wind, like with justifying this after all their stupid promises.
He done had troop and old boy over here from Israel over here in the White House about 15 times each in the last past year. About 15 times a piece. So, but I don't get it, Joey. What's up?
I am trying to make sense of it myself. Like, why exactly
now? I
now?
Get some answers from you. Now you're going to give me some answers. Now, come on.
I don't know, man. Like, how about this? U.S. foreign policy, it is what it is no matter who's elected. No matter who we elect, we always get John McCain. It's almost like, especially on foreign policy, the people have no say whatsoever.
We got to be lied to more before we can figure it out.
And poor little Lindsey Graham, he happy that old R. Kelly on the playground, boy. I'm telling you, Lindsey Graham is.
Oh, I'm telling you, Duke. I love women, but I love war.
He loves this war stuff for some reason.
Oh, I love it.
Does.
I love it. Oh, and you know who's next? You know who's next? Cuba's next.
I think they're going to fold pretty quick.
I'm going to go down there, smoke a Cuban cigar, just suck on that cigar, suck on it good, get me a Cuban lady. Finally get hitched. We've done all the wars. I'm getting married to some beautiful woman. Yeah.
I'm gone.
See you, brother.
That ran him off.
Let's go to Ray Walsh with Prattville Carpet. Hey, Ray.
Hey, Ray.
Man, I cannot believe it's 3 o'clock. It's unbelievable. I've had my head buried in paperwork all day long, so I have not had the privilege of listening to you guys, so I have no clue what's going on today.
Well, we didn't hit the lottery,
not in the
so
world.
we're good. Yeah.
Well, there's always next week, right?
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, next week. Good. But in the store, we did have all our Mohawk reps in today and gave us some really good buys. If you're looking for pattern carpet, one thing I don't talk about a lot is pattern carpet. It's like a Berber, but it's not. It's the cut Berber.
Yeah.
And the reason I don't talk about it, it's expensive. I've never really pushed it because of the cost. They just came and gave me 10 colors. I'm getting the deck boards all next week. I can sell it for under $30 a yard.
Oh, really?
Unbelievable. I've never had a pattern carpet under $30 a yard before. So if you are in the market of something a little higher end for the home, you want to do something a little different, jazz it up some, call us 285-8117. We'll come out and give you that free measurement. We'll have all these samples in first of the week to show you. And we can really, really save you some money on all your flooring needs.
Again, folks, what a deal. 285-8117. And be sure to tell them you heard Ray Bowles on the radio with Joey, Eddie, and Byron.
All right, guys. Y'all have a great day.
You too, Ray. See you, brother.
I mean, honestly, like it's the news is completely saturated with the Iran thing. And often it's just repeating whatever breaks for the next few hours until the next thing breaks. Like, cable news was built for this stuff.
Oh, yeah.
It just really, they're getting a shot in the arm. It makes me sad. It's like, did we go back in time 20 years?
Just a little bit.
Let's go to line 1. You're on there. Who's us?
Hey, this is Ron. Hey, I just want to give a shout out to Kim's Biscuits. They're great.
They are. Thank you, Ron.
You know, I live in Titus myself.
Yeah.
All right.
See, you can't go wrong with a Kim's biscuit.
No, they'll fatten you up, too.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you, Ron.
I'm a simple man. You had me at biscuit.
Man, they got some of the best biscuits. Just, that's right.
Yeah, I went to, for my uncle's birthday on Sunday.
Yeah.
We went to Acre.
Oh, how was that?
Hey, that is
their
good.
brunch. And
Yeah.
I got this, what do they call it? The Black Hawk burger. It was Wagyu beef with black truffle aioli and bacon jam. And then the desserts were, there was this Biscoff cookie banana pudding where it was like the Biscoff butter.
Yeah.
Was like on top as a hard topping, and then with a little dollop of whipped cream,
Shut your mouth,
and
man.
then Biscoff cookies smashed inside
Yeah.
the banana pudding. It was unreal.
Wow.
I almost passed out from the sugar rush. Wow. It was so much.
That
anyway,
sounds good.
yeah. Like I personally couldn't afford it, but daggone. Acre's great. Dude.
Yeah.
Like that brunch is pretty awesome.
Go check out I think it's the nursery.
The nursery.
Over
yeah.
there.
Auburn's got all sorts of new things going on in that regard.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, did we learn anything today? And then, our objectives are still clear, but the timing of it is like the reasons were never changed, but the timing maybe had to do with that.
I'm going to go with Hillary still a B.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'll back that up 1,000%.
And despite his depraved behavior, Bill still,
Yeah.
I'm here.
Hey, you still want to go have a beer with Bill?
I remember my 60s. Look at me with Jeff.
I mean, that's what he was doing. Yeah, I used to be, boy, back in the day.
I'll try to the best of my ability, but I'm almost 80 years old.
What did you say her name was? She told me her name.
Yeah,
was something
exactly.
else.
I think I still got her
That's got to
number.
be a great excuse. I'm almost 80. I can't remember what I was doing when I was.
can't
Didn't I look good?
I'll try my best, though. Anyway, why did y'all bring Hillary in here? I should be here.
Yeah, interns are really on women.
Yes. Yes,
Anyway.
they are.
Y'all stay tuned. Happy Hour's next.
Broadcasting from the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV Cusana, News Talk 93.1 FM. When it's Chevy, it's Riverside.
With SRN News, I'm Bob Agnew in Washington. Iran has expanded its targets in a spiraling war. It struck the U.S. Embassy in Saudi Arabia today as Washington began to pull many staff out of the Middle East. The U.S. and Israel battered Iran with airstrikes, and what President Trump suggested was just the start of a conflict could easily drag on for 4 to 5 more weeks and even longer if need be. It's also seen a severe disruption in the world supply of oil and international shipping and air travel at the same time. In the Netherlands, some